All right, everyone, we are live. Pre-match Scotland versus Morocco, James. We are here in the studio and we started early this time. James, let's talk. What's happening?
Very excited for this one. I mean, obviously, this could potentially mean taking Scotland somewhere they've never been before.
Yes,
we get a point in this game. We obviously are through virtually to the round of 32. It's a huge game against a Moroccan team that we know did so well, got to the semi-finals of the last World Cup, so it'll be a great game. We'll have to put a lot of effort in, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, folks. So we have a couple of seconds before kick-off, and these things require a lot of technical setting up, but so far so good. You can let us know in the chat. I know a lot of people said they were going to join in. I see viewers already popping in. Cam, Lily, Camelia, Kiki. You can let me know where you're from. I see a couple of viewers in there. So James, you all started off great. Haiti. Now it's Morocco. We're going to have our pre-match chat. The players are standing up. I don't know if James is going to stand for his anthem. We could do that. That'll be fun. But like I said, James, let me hear your thoughts.
No, well, the one thing that's interesting in this game is it's a complete different team we're playing. We're actually playing what looks like a back five this time. So obviously, Steve Clark's saying it's going to be a tougher game. It's going to be a back five. But I think we definitely have the players on the field that can make a huge difference. But we know how good Morocco can be. We know the kind of players they have from the goalkeeper right through. So it will be... we will see if we turn up, because I mean ultimately if we get to Scotland that played against Denmark, yes, we can go do something. I just hope the fact that we've went a little bit more pragmatic, we don't go into our shells and try and defend the whole game, and to me that's the kind of game we don't want to be in. We want to be on the front foot still. We still have some attacking options obviously there, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, I know we have a couple of people already in the chat there. Nigel Pear, welcome. Rachel, I hope I pronounced this correctly, Girl Teo, forgive me, let me know how to pronounce it, but welcome. We have a bunch of people in there. And like I said, James, look at the fan, the atmosphere, the stadium is massive. I'm sure, James, I'd have loved to have been there. You could feel the patriotism. I feel like we're looking at Braveheart, James.
Yeah, no, I mean, as I say, I could just imagine standing that line, hearing the crowd singing, obviously, the Flower of Scotland, seeing, obviously, I mean, that stadium is absolutely fantastic. I mean, it looks actually more blue than red, in my opinion. I mean, I know they said that there was hundreds of thousands of Scottish fans went over, and it does look that way. What a sight. I mean, what you would give to be a player in that field, and obviously to be a supporter there in the stadium as well.
Yes, folks. So you could let us know in the chat if you're hearing us. Okay, this is a pre-match talk. I'd like to say a big special thank you to people in the last game. I see the viewers are popping in right now. Usually we do it on multiple streams, but today it's strictly on YouTube. And you could scan that QR code below. You could join the WhatsApp broadcast group where you could get notifications when we have streams and news and so on. But the anthems, James, this is a tough one. This is a tough one, folks. And, we will be having a lot of fun throughout this thing here. Caribbean. That's an interesting name. I remember you from before. Scotland has been drinking the city dry.
Yeah, they said that. They say there's no beer left in Boston. So, I mean, and it doesn't surprise me, because when the team were coming over, or the supporters were coming over on the plane, they said there was no beer left by the time they reached America. So we know that's one of the things culturally that we are famous for, So, yep. But let's hope, we do the talking on the field, not off the field.
Yes. So, I can only imagine what this feels like, folks. And like I said, I really appreciate people joining in and having fun in this World Cup. And also... we had that intro you all heard at the beginning. That's actually from a local artist, Nigel Rojas. And forgive me, I can't remember the other person's name, but I'll get that for you in a little while. But we were so excited to set this stream up. And, everything is working well so far. There's a lot of mechanisms in place. And, James and I are going to have our pre-match chat like we usually do. I like to have that conversation before the match kicks off. And... hear everybody's thoughts. A lot of us are from Trinidad and Tobago, and the main audience is from there, but we have a lot of people from around the island, around the Caribbean, around the world, Curacao, Qatar, UK, USA, Canada. So everybody in here, we're really trying to get a connection going with everybody, and that's amazing. We couldn't do this a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
sitting and watching. Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic. And I mean, just before I forget, obviously anybody with their t-shirt needs, make sure they reach out to JR Designs. We spoke about them last night. They're doing World Cup t-shirts for a special price. We'll pop the logo up on the screen at some point, but they're going to do a special one for me and you, Andre, so we look forward to that with our legacy patches. So
yes.
Yeah, so make sure you support JR Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and as you'll be hearing a lot more about them as we go into the World Cup.
Yes. I'm seeing hi from Vish from India. I want to pronounce your name correctly. but I don't think I'll do a good job. So welcome, Vish. It's really, listen, this is exciting that this sport connects us in such a way all over the planet. You know, James, a former, Scottish goalkeeper as well, coach. Me, I sometimes help him on the national team.
He's not the water boy, don't worry.
Yeah. But I had a mean right foot at university football, folks. But anyway, all jokes aside, it's good to connect with people from all over the planet, and it gives us that energy, James, to do this. And I know James, his energy levels, and we also, folks. After this one, you could take a look at the watch along we had with Terry Fennick, the former 1986 England international who played against Maradona. He's going to come back for another English game with us. It's crazy. He showed us his 86 jersey that he wore against Maradona. Isn't that crazy? But we are in here. We're going to kick things off. And I can only imagine how James is feeling right now.
Yeah, the adrenaline's starting to build. I'm starting to get pumped. I wish I was out in the field, as we just seen the Scottish team. So there is a few changes this time. They've sacrificed Ben Gannon Doak. They've brought in, obviously, Nathan Patterson at right back. They brought in Ryan Christie. I mean, the same kind of midfield three, obviously, Ferguson, McTominay, and McGinn. But it looks as if we went to a back five. They're saying a back three, but we know when we see a back three, it generally, in possession, it's a back three. Out of possession, it becomes a back five. So it looks as if, according to them, they're saying McTominay's playing up top. I don't think he will. I think he'll play behind the centre forward. But it is a bit more pragmatic. And when we look through that Moroccan team, we know Bono, the goalkeeper, really well. They're littered. But this guy here, Bouadi, he's the one that everybody's talking about, the young player, fantastic passer, had a great game in the opening game against Brazil, and then Diaz had a great game as well, Sabri. So they've got fantastic players, and obviously the captain Hakimi, who everybody knows very well. There was actually a story this week that came out that he might not play today because there was some allegations against him, but we won't bring up the negativity now, but obviously he'll be feeling it in terms of the field, so hopefully he can do his talking on the field.
Yes. And, the pre-match head coach Steve Clark looking like he's in the zone, James. He's in the zone. He wants to win. And I can tell you this, folks, we are also aiming for that 10,000 subscriber mark. So feel free before we kick off to take a moment to subscribe to the channel, share with your friends, follow us on all the socials as well. You can see the names below there. And we're going to do the classic thing. We're going to do the countdown as well. So let me get my clock here to get the graphics on screen, and James and I will do the 3, 2, 1. I love it, James. This is it.
And the one thing I want to say is our fans out there, again, make sure you tell us where you're from. It's great to see, obviously, Vishu from India. We've got, obviously, Nigel Pierre, I think, and different ones from Trinidad. Make sure you tell us where you're from. Tell us, who you're supporting, as we're going to see that clock now come on the screen any second now. The anticipation's building, and this is going to be an absolute cracker.
Yes. I can't wait to do the countdown, folks. And if you want, you can do it with us. It's absolutely crazy. And we're off.
So
we did do the kick.
Oh yeah,
but that's okay.
The kickoff didn't. It didn't happen that we wanted, but Scotland will start, and they've put us really under pressure right from the start there.
So we're 10 seconds in. If you're just joining us, folks, we're doing the watch along Scotland versus Morocco, and this is a very exciting game for James as well. We want this team to do really well. I'm supporting James. James is from Scotland as well. I spent some time in Scotland, so I have a lot of love for Scotland. And, let's see how it goes, James. Let's see how it goes. Morocco is my dark horse for the tournament.
See, it's looking like McGinn now went over to the right this time. The last time he played on the left. And if you see what I was talking about there, like McTominay's dropping behind Che Adams, so he will try and cover that loan. But one of the things I like is we're trying to hunt down the ball. And that's good because we know how good this Moroccan team are. We know they're going to have a lot of possession, but we cannot sacrifice, all the possession. We need to take the game to them. But we look very organised at the moment. But early on, as Morocco start to come forward.
And in case I'm breaking eye contact, it's people asking for the stream, so I'm sending it to everybody as well. So it's 1 minute in, and Morocco.
Well, here's an opportunity right there, right through, and wow,
is that a goal? Oh my goodness!
Wow,
Not
I cannot believe
start.
that. Literally a minute on the clock.
Is that all? Was it?
I don't even know if it's offside. I was looking to see there if the referee pulled it back because it was a nice little chip in behind the back line. A few of the players there complaining. As we talk about Sabri, I think, who got the goal. We spoke about him before the game. Lethal finisher, and wow, a minute into the game,
what a
he puts it past Gunn. Yeah,
my goodness, a simple ball gets past the back 5, I guess, or 4. Let's see. Let's take a look.
Nah, he's onside.
Yeah, he's onside.
He took the run really well, but the defence there, I think he's offside, but I think Gunn could have been a bit stronger there also. But wow, It's not the start we wanted,
Wow.
and that little ball over, but he finishes it so well.
Yeah.
Pace, pass, gun. Wow. I mean, is there much you can do about it? He has to stay big there, but really not the start we wanted. As we see the Moroccan fans in elation and jubilation, obviously 1-0 up, and this result could put them through if it continues like that.
Yes. I mean, although we are supporting Scotland today. Morocco is a very strong team. Scotland would have liked to have maybe at least get to settle down and pass the ball a bit, and then within 2 minutes they're already 1-0 down, James.
Well, the one concern I have is, like I said, they've took out some of the, like, Ben Gannon Doak was our best player in the last game, in my opinion. You've sacrificed him. You've went defensive. Now, granted, you're going to be, under the cosh a lot of the game, but was that the right move there? And it's looking like right away, because to me, once you start thinking about playing as a defensive unit or playing a defensive game, you're going to have to soak up pressure. And we didn't do it very well there. So let's hope we can obviously pick it up as we see Morocco building out the back. But they'll be delighted with that start. And again, they're trying that same ball there. And I hope the Scottish defence learn from it this time.
Yes. So, folks, if you're just joining us, because I see the viewers are popping up as well. We're 3 minutes in, not the start neither of us wanted. It's 1-0. Morocco in front, getting a very early goal, beating the offside trap of Scotland, and Scotland is going to have to settle down really quickly, not concede a second goal, and try to at least limit Morocco. Maybe this is a slap in the face they need.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
Do some damage control now.
I'm actually watching the way we're playing. We are playing very narrow out of possession though, We're basically trying to cover that middle area and not let them play through us. But again, if you watch what they did, they just played one long ball through. So we have to be very aware of that. And if you're not putting direct pressure on like we did there, you're going to get that long ball coming through. So we need to get up the field and start taking the ball back to them.
Yes, folks. And we're here at EXTV Studios. And like I said, this is the headquarters for the Scottish FA right now, for those who are on the EXTV stream. Show James some love. Let him know what you all think about his team. I've seen viewers popping in as well. Like I said, today it's only on the YouTube. We had some technical glitches. It wasn't working on TikTok and Instagram and whatever, for whatever reason. So we're just on YouTube today. And of course, you can scan that QR code when time permits. So Morocco just kind of keeping the ball in the back.
And I think this will happen a lot. I mean, as I say, the way we're set up, Morocco are going to try and, play it around the houses, as they say, get it back in again. They're going to try that long ball, then they'll bring it back across again. What we need is those runners to go and obviously force them to play. Because the longer you let them build like this, they're going to get confident and they're going to try and play those balls in there. Like, good, we now go win the ball now and a chance now to break. A nice opportunity. McGinn there in the centre. But what I like is we're trying to do something. We're not just sitting back and, basically getting men behind the ball.
Yes. And, you have players like McTominay and these guys who understand how to manage games like this. They played at the highest level amongst the other players as well. Everybody talks about McTominay, but it's they're going to have to be smart, contain the game, don't let Morocco run away with this. If they could just, calm things down a little bit, create those chances, as you said. There's no reason why Scotland can't feel they can't get back in it. The one consolation is there's a whole, 85 minutes to go. And we'll see how it goes. I saw X-Fireball, welcome. I love that name. Hi, everyone. So welcome. You're an X-Fireball, so were you a Fireball before and no longer a Fireball?
Find all these strange names. It'd be great to know the story behind some of these names,
Yeah, I know. I love some of these names, like Caribbean and, X-Fireball. I think there was one guy who was I Smoke Doubles. That's crazy.
And one of the funny things, I think the way the game's going, I think I could take one of those Caribbeers or maybe something stronger.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yes. Candice is saying good luck. Good afternoon, good luck, Scotland.
That was a high foot there. And again, the referee never gave it, but McGinn comes away with it. But again, this is a nice opportunity, actually. Yeah.
Don't sell McGinn. Let's see.
And an opportunity now, it's going to fall there. Christie.
Ryan Christie.
And again, they seem to be doing very well at blocking off areas, Morocco. Every time we get the ball, there's 3 players in front of the Scottish player.
X-Fireball saying age. It's an age-related thing. Fireball, who you are supporting. And folks, like I said, we're trying to get to that 10,000 subscriber mark as well. So be sure, if you haven't done so before, to subscribe and share with your people and follow us on the socials. We've set that, and we'll have a big party if we get there. And invite everyone in the chat, and we'll be doing giveaways as well. Lots of giveaways as well. So, we have when you like, subscribe, and follow, you get a chance to win a jersey of your choice, club or country, maybe a copy of EAFC 27, and even come to the watch-alongs and meet us wherever we are. So, it feels like this 7 minutes just flew by, James.
Yeah, and I'm trying to be positive, but it's hard when you go 1-0 down in 1 minute,
I'll be James' support today.
Yeah. But Morocco, as I say, I knew they'd have a lot of possession. We know how good they are, Hakimi and these guys. Some ex-Fireball saying he's neutral in this game. That's good. That's
okay.
So ex-Fireball, who are you supporting in the tournament? Let us know. And there's that man, Buadi, we spoke. Phenomenal midfielder. Looks like he's probably going to get a big money move. He's playing for, I think, Lille, I think it is in France. Really, really talented boy.
I see Miriam is in the chat. Bravo, Morocco. 1 goal for Morocco. Miriam, let me know where you're from. Are you from Morocco? We have people all over the world in this chat, folks, and we really appreciate that. And we are from Trinidad and Tobago, the Caribbean. A Scotsman and a Trini taking in this game.
Sounds like a joke, that. A Scotsman, a Trini. We just need an Irishman,
A Scotsman, an Irishman, and a Trini enter a bar.
But you could just see there that ball there played through by Morocco. You can see how dangerous they are. They like to make those little passes and then look for that killer pass, which we obviously saw with the goal.
Just don't want Spain to win Fireball. Oh, well, Fireball, you're not saying who you're supporting, Fireball. Who's your team? Who are you supporting? Let's see. I like that Scotland didn't put their heads down. They're playing. They're trying to get back into it. That's a problem I have with a lot of teams, especially in CONCACAF. Even with Trinidad and Tobago, which is my team. And there was a time we used to kind of slouch and, linger on and mope for like a couple of minutes. Duncan Walsh. Watching from a train in Tokyo. Wow, Duncan.
Wow, Duncan. That's phenomenal.
That's crazy, man. I love that. Duncan, I was just going to ask you where you're from and you just answered me. So we love it. We appreciate the love, Duncan. I'm guessing you're supporting Scotland, of course. Don't be afraid to give us a subscribe, Duncan. And let us know, do you think we're going to come back? I'm saying we like if I'm Scottish. What was that? What somebody told me, James? I'm the crazy Irishman.
You're the crazy Irishman. Nah, you don't want to be. There's plenty of crazy Scotsmen, so it's fine.
Yeah. So apparently I need to go rewatch Braveheart and see if I like that compliment. I think I remember the character.
And McTominay there showing a lot of fight, and Scotland just building it round. What we need to do is we need to get a bit of confidence, pick it up a little bit. But I think one of the things I've noticed, obviously, we have Che Adams up top, and Che Adams is not the biggest striker, and that's one of my concerns, because the way we're playing, you have that one centre forward, you need that centre forward to hold up the ball,
Right. So, folks, in case I'm not making eye contact sometimes because I'm managing the chat, making sure people get to see the stream. People are asking, so I'm sending it. Fireball saying Soca Warriors is my soul team. Leaning towards Brazil, but not a big Brazil
that's
guy.
A break of the ball there. I thought it was a foul, but the referee doesn't give it. And a chance again now for Morocco again.
Oh, no.
Wow. But again, that's how you can't switch off. We spoke about this before, how good Morocco are. I think the Scottish player there, he's a little soft in the tackle. Christie there. Is it a foul? I don't think there's enough in it. But one thing I always remember my coaches tell me, you can't just stop, Get yourself back up until you hear that whistle. And I think that's one of the problems I'm seeing right there already.
And Morocco's front three are so dynamic and, they shift around and get into weird spaces and it could destabilize the defense. So Scotland's going to have to be very careful. You don't really want to concede a second goal, but you don't want to play with too much fear. At least that damage control, and at least put Morocco on their toes and attack them like now.
Oh, here's a nice McTominay there, and Ferguson getting back on the ball, actually.
Nice.
But again, that's what I've always said. There always seems to be 3 players round the Scottish player when they get it.
Good recovery, though. It's a very physical battle on top of the box there, but Morocco got the better in the end.
And this is a problem. The pace that they have, though. Like I mentioned in the last game, Hanley's not the youngest player there. Oh, and a player falling off the ball. Not sure where that was from. Clear your lines. Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. I need to be out there, Andre. I need to be shouting at that team.
Yes. Oh no. So you can see the dynamic plays to the point where it's causing the Scottish players to sometimes, like for example, when I'm looking at it there, I see people coming in. Duncan Walsh, believe it or not, I'm English. Oh, nice, but I'm supporting Scotland. But I see myself more as a Brit. Cool. I love that.
Yeah, I love that too. I mean, that's the one thing I saw something today, and it was talking about how, there's not a lot of people will support all the home nations, but it's nice that, because ultimately those were things of the past, all that rivalry. I mean, ultimately, I want England to do well. I want Scotland to do well. I mean, any of the British countries. I mean, to be honest, we love football. So, all those rivalries are just things we talk about,
Yes. So, folks, we're 11 minutes in.
It seems like an eternity.
Yes, I know. It feels like forever. Hakimi making that overlap around. You know he's going to maraud down that side.
I think one of the problems I'm seeing though for Scotland, like I said in the last game, we had Ben Ganondorf on the wing, we had McGinn on the other side, and you obviously had Shankland and Che Adams up top. We don't have an outlet right now.
No.
And if you they're trying to win the ball in the centre midfield, they're not getting anybody to play it to. And then defensively, like I mentioned before in the last game, I'm not convinced with this back four, or even back five today.
Yes, folks. So, folks in the chat, let me know if you guys are hearing us okay. We're here at the EXTV studios, and we want Scotland to get back in there. And of course, if you're not a supporter of Scotland, that's okay. Let us know where you're supporting from. I'm very genuinely humbled by the fact that we have these connections, real connections with people in here. We're making new friends during the World Cup. It's such an amazing thing, football. Tokyo. We have an Englishman who's in Tokyo. I'm an Englishman okay.
Don't sing on.
Yeah,
don't sing.
Okay. The rain, we have good weather. I'll shut up. And then, we have people from the UK. We have people from Curacao, Qatar. I'm loving this, and I hope you guys are hearing us okay. And we have other watch-alongs. When this is done, you can take a look. But for now, the focus is on Scotland.
I think that's the beauty of it that we're saying, though, that it's an expanded World Cup, more teams, and this is what we want to see. I mean, it's been great to see all the fans getting on together. We're not hearing really much trouble at all. It's beautiful to see. That's the point of this, And somebody saying, I am a Filipina living and working in Morocco. Wow.
Oh, wow. Nice. Welcome, Miriam. It's a pleasure to have you here. And, listen, it's a huge honor to have you here, and I'm glad that you're joining in with us.
Well, that was a good battle there from Che Adams there.
Yeah.
Like to see that.
You must be really happy right now. So welcome. And like I said, all the new people in here, show us some love. Don't be afraid to subscribe. I'm seeing Timmy Two Knocks Evening. I love that name. These names are amazing, folks. I wish I had a more clever name. I think I'm going to get a new name. Welcome, Timmy Two Knocks Evening. Ex-Fireball. Never thought I would like the World Cup as much as I did. Attempted to watch all but one, which I missed due to needed sleep at work. Well, listen, the World Cup has that effect, folks. I guess the bug has finally hit a lot of people.
Andre, you've taken all the games, or?
If what?
You've taken in all the games?
As much as I can. Yeah. I've missed a few because sleep, just like, physically. I think James may have.
I've taken all but one. I missed the Turkey-Australia game.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realise it was on so early, but I'll be honest, I've taken in every other game, which...
Wow.
Is exhausting.
Wow. So far, folks, the only reason I haven't is because, I do a lot of setup for these things. So I really appreciate his support. It's a lot of work to get these things up and running. So, we have, merch and donations and all these things. If you all want to show support, you can, because it really helps the channel and all these things. And we want to get to that 10,000 subscriber mark, folks. Two guys from Trinidad and Tobago trying our best to connect. And we have everybody. We're creating this community and we call them the EXTV Ultras. So we have people from Morocco, Tokyo, the UK, Trinidad and Tobago, around the Caribbean. I miss Jordan versus Austria. Fireball, you look like you're really into this. If that's the only game you miss, you're not doing too bad.
Yeah, doing really well. Yeah,
you're doing a lot better than I did.
I'm just thinking here, Steve Clark will be looking for Scotland to get to the first hydration break.
Oh, yeah.
We spoke about it. It's like 4 quarters now. It's like American football. So he'll be looking to get to that for that first quarter in a sense. Be able to talk to the team. I mean, they've picked it up a little bit, but I still find there's too many gaps, and we need to squeeze the game up the field again. Because again, if you give away a ball in the centre of the field there and you're too far back, it's an opportunity for them. But I think they seem to be lacking a little confidence after that goal.
Yes. So they're kind of getting that composure back. I'm seeing GR Electronics, GR Designs here. Oh wow! So we can't wait to get those jerseys, man. Supporting Scotland because of my boy James.
That's fantastic.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
So we'll be coming for those jerseys after the game. So we appreciate the support, and be sure to give us a subscribe and follow us on our socials, Duncan.
That was a hard tackle there. That was Ferguson just leaving a bit of the Scottish grit in there. And I think sometimes that's what you have to do. You have to show the opposition you're not scared. And next time the player will come near him, he'll run away a little bit. So
yes.
Not a bad tactic there. But I think we definitely need to pick it up. And let's hope that we can, start to get some better football, because at the moment I think we're just sitting behind the ball. We're not really creating anything, and we're really looking for those one or two, McGinn or McTominay, to kind of try and to lead us. 26% of the possession, we're just seeing there on the screen, to 65. It's a huge difference.
See Nigel saying I missed one as well. If you just missed one, that's not bad. Timmy Two Knots, what a name. Do you think the hydration break should be done the other side of the pitch? That's an interesting question. What do you think about that, James?
Yeah, well, the reason people say it is because realistically, you shouldn't be having tactical changes during the hydration breaks. It is a hydration break, so I get it. I mean, the problem is you've done it now for the rest of the World Cup, so to change it now would be unfair to obviously the teams playing now.
Yeah.
As we just see there, the number 23 there for Kalous, you know, cheering every tackle he's winning there. They're really up for this. You can see they're pumped, and you know the fact they're 1-0 up, you know, they'll be building in confidence as the game goes on. You know.
Yes, yes, and you know they are the AFCON champions,
Yeah.
depending on who you ask. I know in the end, you know, they got the title in the end, but I'm seeing Duncan Walsh, cheers guys, totally agree. Club affiliations come into it as well. I'm a Norwich fan. Cool, very nice. It's great to see some NCFC players past and present at the World Cup. Hanley, Gunn, McLean. Sadly, no Billy.
Oh, wow, that was that's that dangerous ball. The same thing they did again, and I find there seemed to be just a lack of communication between Gunn and his back three there, you know. So, and again, that's a worrying thing for Scotland. But yeah, great to see so many Norwich players. You know, for some reason Norwich have always had a good bunch of Scottish players playing for them. You know, and Gunn playing obviously, Hanley there, and McLean's on the bench as well. So. A yellow card for any manager leaving his box. Yeah, well, that's another way. That's what they could do, you know, because there has to be a way of limiting it. But again, they can't do it in this World Cup because if you start doing it now after, you know, the way you've already done one round of games would be unfair. So, but that is a good point because the purpose of it is a hydration break. It is not, Gunn hesitating there. He was lucky to get a touch on it. But, you know, these are the things that worries me because we've changed the system. We've changed it to a back five or back three, depending on what stage of the game we're in. We just don't look confident at all at the back.
Yes, yes. I see Timmy Two Knocks. Oh, no, I read that one already. Harrison Wells, low-key, I think England is going to win the World Cup. They always have the top players in each position. This time, they have a big coach, Tuchel, and they look great. So you would love that watch-along. If you didn't look at it, Harrison Wells, I think you were in there. You know, Terry had his thoughts on England and, you know, his criticisms of the wing-backs and so on. But, you know, it's very hard to gauge teams that early in the tournament. You know, some teams even start off with losses. Look at Argentina in the last World Cup, Spain 2010. But, you know, teams can grow in the tournament. Tuchel is a great coach. He's trying to get England to play that, you know, more expansive, aggressive style football. You know, Gareth, I almost said Gareth Bale. Southgate, sorry. You know, a lot of people criticize him for being too defensive, but I mean, he got to a lot of finals. So there's that balance. So we'll see. England is definitely one of those top four teams for sure this time around. They're not the England of old. Harry Kane is playing like such a dynamic role. So we'll see. We'll see, Harrison.
One of the things I was just thinking about was watching the Scottish team there. Robertson obviously usually plays left back, you know, he's now playing the wing back, but I have to be honest, I've not seen him touch the ball in the first 19 minutes, you know, and that's a worry for me because obviously he's one of our biggest players. Now let's see how we defend the box here, but as I say, worrying signs at the moment. A good header there from Hanley, I think it was, but yeah, we need to pick it up. We need to start to show a little bit of that Scottish grit, you know, and take the game back to Morocco.
Yes, folks. You know, another corner there. I could see he tried to head it away, but, you know, sometimes the bounce of the ball, he didn't connect with it properly. And another corner for Morocco. Hakimi whips it in. McTominay getting it out there. Crowding that line of sight for the shot there.
Yeah, Christie getting a good block on, but again, you're still sitting. Ooh, wow, that was a whipping ball there. And
yes.
I don't know if Gunn seemed to be ready for that, but he's got two good hands on it. But now Scotland need to get up the park a bit because we seem to be sitting right on top of Gunn, you know?
And you're the right person to ask this, James, because, you know, you're a former goalkeeper, you're a goalkeeping coach as well, in addition to other things. I've been having this discussion with Terry and many others about, you know, modern goalkeepers opting to punch. Whereas he said back in the day, because he played for England and that time where the priority was catching it. Of course, the game has evolved and different tactics. What do you think about that?
Well, I was always told when I was coached by Henry Smith, ex-Hearts legend, ex-Scotland legend, that you catch everything you can, you know? You only punch when you can't catch, you know? And I think it's changed so much. I mean, obviously the speed of the ball, the speed of the game has changed. So I can understand if a goalkeeper's coming out outside of his 6-yard box, you know, into the 18-yard box, yes, maybe you punch it there, but anything in that 6-yard box, anything around about you is definitely two hands on it and a catch.
Yes. I saw Candice saying no Argentina winning it back-to-back. Hot star. Well, I hope so. I know that's going to be very difficult, but, you know, that would be, if somebody told me that's the case now, I will just run out the road and do cartwheels. Timmy Two Knocks, which is your favorite kit so far? I quite like the Japan cream away kit. Japan always comes with some very fire kits, but I think this World Cup, a lot of people came in an exciting kit. Not because I like Argentina, I'm saying this, but the Argentina away kit is definitely one of my favorites. I like the Scotland, this one that Jim has on. It's very different. It's not what I expected from Scotland. So those are my two favorite kits. So folks in the chat, you can let me know what's your favorite kit so far.
Yeah, the Japan's nice. I mean, I like the Scotland one as well. I don't like plain kits. I like to see a bit of exuberance, a bit of something different. You know, there was one. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I mean, I really like the American kit. Actually, it's different. You know, with the kind of waves of red and white. You know, Scotland actually now getting some build up, which is good. Nathan Patterson there, nice. But
that could be a foul there. If he says play on.
Yeah. Oh,
the number 10, Adams. He did get the yellow.
Is that a free kick for Scotland, or did he give a free yellow card to the Scottish player?
Let's see. I think it. We still can't tell what the ref's saying because his hand gesture confuses me a little bit. Okay, free kick for Scotland.
Okay. Well, that's. I mean, to be honest, that's a good area, and it's good to see. Obviously, well, Diop, the one committing the foul there, but Che Adams he's a little bit of a live wire there. He's not the biggest for Scotland. My concern is he's playing there on his own, and yes, you want McTominay to get up close to him, but McTominay's obviously having to work doggies in the midfield there to cover that space because realistically we know how good obviously the Moroccan team is, so it's something we'll have to look at as the game goes on to bring some support in there for Che Adams, but hopefully we can build something with this free kick as we see in Ferguson standing over it.
Let's see how this goes, folks. Scotland admirably not just laying back, you know, they are put in some form of pressure and forcing Morocco into some fouls, which is important in a game like this. You don't want to sit back. Morocco is very aggressive. Whips in, out wide, in the box.
That was kind of looked like it was something from the training ground there, but it didn't really come off. Yeah, and that's the one thing I've noticed in this tournament. There's been a lot of set pieces that are just not put into the box, not being direct enough in the last few games I've seen. So we'd like to see that put in, because we have some boys out that can challenge, as we see there. But obviously, Tierney there just committing a foul, as we see in Pep there in the stands talking to. Is it? I thought it was Jason Stratham there, but it's not.
I thought so. For a split second, I was like, wow, they both. So I saw Vishnu just subscribed. Thank you, Vishnu. And, I love that you're from India. I'm also a huge fan of the IPL as well. I actually worked with the Knight Riders, so I figured you'd probably love that as well. So it's great to have you all here, and it's a wonder. You all are a passionate audience, and I love it. I love it. So it's our first hydration break. Speaking of hydration, I'm going to hydrate as well.
Yeah, and as we're having that hydration break, obviously not the start we wanted, but just to bring a few notices. Like I said, we mentioned about obviously our t-shirt GR designs, obviously watching on the stream as well. Anybody that has any obviously t-shirts they want made for the World Cup or anything else, make sure you check them out on Facebook, Instagram, and you'll be seeing them at some of the games we're popping up, whether it's a Messi shirt, a Ronaldo shirt, a Mbappe shirt, a Neymar shirt. Make sure you check them out. And as I say, we'll be wearing them too, Andre.
Of course, folks. And in case you're all wondering, we have a lot of watch-alongs we'll be doing. When this one is done, James and I, we usually have our daily wrap-ups. And we put a lot of effort into this, folks. So your support means a lot. We love that it's very live and engaging, and it's very raw and uncut. And that's as pure as you can get, James. Real interaction with everybody all over the world. And that just shows how exciting this tournament is. We made so many friends in the last World Cup. And, I kind of wish we did this in the last World Cup because we met so many people offline. Imagine now. So, of course, be sure to like, subscribe, follow the socials there as well. I saw Vishnu subscribed. So thank you, Vishnu. And also, you could follow us on the socials. We're trying to get to that 10,000 mark. We're being ambitious, folks. Two guys from the Caribbean. We're trying our thing. And, continue to support us. We have cool content on our TikTok, very hot takes. Then we have our EXTVmedia.com as well. So let's join in. Let's join in. So the water break is going on. Everybody's having their conversation. I think for a team like Scotland, this is good. This is an example where it works because Morocco is the kind of team. They are very dynamic. They will run at you constantly. And a break like this could give you that necessary moment where you can speak to the players. He probably spoke to them about that first goal. And, I think with all things considered, even though they scored early on Scotland, I think Scotland are doing well to sort of manage that game because a lot of teams, they kind of just ended up like Curacao and conceded a whole bunch of goals. And Scotland is a team that I could say, not because James is here, they have a lot of character And I would love to see them get something from this game, James.
Yeah, well, I mean, we need to get some more. We need to get more dynamic work in the centre midfield. I think ultimately it's a mistake, that little chip over the top of the goal that they score. Defensively, it's a mistake there. And again, they need to pick up the communication. Obviously, pick up the encouragement to each other, and then take the game back to Morocco. We have good players on the field. We have good players on the bench. So it's all about, what can we show that we can give in the rest of this game? 26 minutes into the game, we're 1-0 down, but there's a whole lot of football to be played.
Yes, and I see Miriam saying, no, be nice to Hakimi, please, thank you. I love Hakimi since he was at Inter Milan. I was very sad when he left Inter Milan and he went, to PSG. He was one of my favorite players. And then, of course, folks know him at Real Madrid, but this is a guy who I always knew was going to be a top-class player. Back-to-back Champions Leagues now. Main player for Morocco, now an AFCON champion. Definitely, I know people talk about the Messis and Ronaldos, but Hakimi and these guys, exciting players. The Moroccan team, the senior team, and also the under-20s. It's very scary, the type of back-to-back talent they have. But now we're back, folks.
I'll tell you something, though. There's been a lot of work done over the years in Morocco, because, I remember quite a few coaches that I know went over there to do work, with the younger teams. They had a very good coach before. Obviously, they have a new coach this time, but there's been a lot of work behind the scenes, and it just shows you, member associations, football associations, when you put in the work, years behind, and then it comes to fruition, and we're seeing that with Morocco. They're making it to semi-finals of World Cups. They're one of the top teams in the competition again, and it's great to see because, I remember when Pele used to talk about an African team winning a World Cup.
Yes.
Well, that makes it a little bit closer to what he thought, So it's great to see, and it's great to see how, the progress they've made. It's a great lesson, especially for Trinidad and Tobago, for example.
Correct. And folks, if you're wondering why I broke eye contact, it's because people are asking me for the stream. I'm sending it to them now. And I really appreciate that. People from all over the place. I'm sending it out there, folks. So we're back, and I'm seeing an X-Fireball. I'll probably fix that there so I can read that whole message. I'll get to that message. But we're back.
So we see.
Let's fix that in the meantime.
We've seen the same kind of pattern again. Morocco building up and then coming wide and trying to play it through. Nice steal there from Tierney, but again trying to find Che Adams as a problem. Obviously he's playing up there on his own, but it's good we've now pressed them in, and hopefully we can start carving out some mistakes or some opportunities in obviously the final third, because that's the only way we're going to score. So it's good to see the pressure on the ball, and let's see if we can create something all the way back to Bono, goalkeeper there. And it's nice to see, obviously, I think it's Christie there, chasing the ball. McTominay is coming across, trying to do something there. But again, that long ball, and it's dangerous again, looking for Hakimi, who's continually getting down that right wing. And we see again, we can see, I think it's Diaz here, did really well to evade the challenge. 3 Scottish players, wow, it gets past them, but Scotland have to be careful here and make sure they... Ooh. That's a great opportunity again, but you can see when Scotland are on the back foot,
yes,
Morocco really look dangerous. We see it again, players sneaking through the half spaces, and it's, a mistake there. 2 Scottish players again picking up one man.
Yes, they were pulled out of position there very easily there. Coach is not going to like that. So I see people as well, the comments are flying in.
No, he's not. I'm seeing somebody saying, is Scott McTominay been on the ball much? He's not. And I think that's what I'm saying. I think this system that Scotland are playing is a very unconventional system for Scotland. Mm-hmm. They're not used to playing it. So we need to kind of start to get comfortable with it, or maybe see if Clark will change it at halftime, because we just don't look comfortable at all at the moment.
Yes, I'm seeing a fireball saying shame that Carvajal had that spot unlocked when Hakimi was coming up at Real Madrid. Yeah, he probably would have been at Real Madrid still. Hakimi choosing Morocco over Spain early speaks volumes, yes. Because a lot of folks don't notice. Yamal also could have played for Morocco as well. Could you imagine, Yamal on this team? That would have been a scary team. You have Hakimi and all these guys. Duncan Walsh. Oh, well, yeah, James addressed that one.
It reminds me back to the Suriname thing, when Ruud Hula and all these guys, Seedorf, could have played for Suriname.
Oh, yeah.
And they chose, obviously, to play for Holland. Obviously, it's the affiliation that country has, whether it's, in terms of, they were ruled by that country back in the day or whatever, but that tends to happen. But it was good to see somebody pick an African country over a European country,
Yes, folks. So if you're joining us, it's already 30 minutes. I feel like this game is flying by. They had their first hydration break. That should have been, it looked a bit of a fall. McGinn shoved off the ball there, but Scotland...
I find we've been too soft, though. again, I think we're looking for that free kick in midfield, and that's not our game. Like as I say, we usually have that resilience, that rugged play, and we need to remember who we are. I think a little bit.
Yes. We need a speech from William Wallace or James.
We need one chance, just one chance.
Just one chance. That's exactly what they need, folks. And I think I'm going to say it here now. I think McTominay is going to do what he does, one of those big game moves. And we're going to manifest it and they're going to get a result. I love that the comments are just flying in, folks.
That's true, actually. You're saying, obviously, that's Xhaka could have played for England as well, and he chose Trinidad, you know?
Yes.
It's beautiful, that, you know, and it just shows you the patriotism and the fact that he loves his country, you know, as well. So, and it's actually ironic because it happens a lot with Scotland. I was reading yesterday that Elliot Anderson, who plays for England, could have played for Scotland. I didn't know that, you know. He chose obviously England, so it happens a lot. I mean, I think was it not Declan Rice and Jack Grealish as well had the opportunity, I think, to play for Ireland or one of them as well, you know.
Yes.
It does happen, but Scotland now looking a lot more positive. But again, that we getting pushed off the ball too easily, and that's a problem I have.
And the thing is, Morocco, I've observed them in the AFCON and just generally at youth level as well. They are very physical, folks. Not just them, but generally teams from that region. They are dynamic, they are physical. They are very much a team that you can't really allow too much space, as you can see there, how easily they won the ball. So in addition to their dribbling, they are very efficient in winning the ball because they're not getting a lot of fouls when they win the tackle.
And you can see how comfortable Buadi is over there. He looks like a 26, 27-year-old player, and he's 18 or something like that, you know. He's obviously there with Hakimi, but, they look comfortable. They're slowing the game down, and they're playing it exactly how they want to. We're the team that should be obviously taking the momentum and pushing it back.
Timmy Two Knocks. How is Xhaka and his health? I mean, the last time I spoke with him, he's in good spirits. For those of you who don't know, he supports EXTV a lot. He has a lot of content with us. And, he seems to be handling it in good spirits. We see him on ESPN FC. And, we all wish him, a speedy recovery. And it's just, a small moment to talk about men's health. He spoke about this in one of his videos. We put it up as well to be sure and go do your PSA tests. And, just do it. We don't talk about men's health a lot.
Yeah, I think that's one thing as males, we kind of take the macho stance and, we don't want to go to see a doctor and these things. So it's important that, we're all imperfect, we're all human, we need to go make sure we take care of ourselves because, we don't know how long we have, So,
yes, correct. And I mean, if you notice, James and I, we try to practice what we preach. We're drinking water. Usually, I would probably have some orange juice or maybe a Coke a couple years ago for those who knew me. And it's take care of your bodies, folks. We want our EXTV people.
And the interesting thing is that's what footballers do. I mean, I lived the life. I know what it's like. I mean, you have to be taking care. Your body. I mean, people say your body's a temple, but what they mean by that is in terms of being an athlete, you have to look after it. Morocco getting another chance again. And again, I don't like how they're penetrating into the Scottish box here. We need to find a way to stop them. They're doubling up wide. They're beating us in the central areas. And Steve Clark's going to have a lot to do at halftime.
Yes. Morocco doing the EAFC move, get down the line and cut back and score. Any of you played that game knows that move online. I'm seeing Kapil Ramcharan, big up on the watch along fellas. Welcome Kapil. He has a lot of World Cup content on TikTok, folks. So be sure to follow him as well. Welcome, Kapil. I really appreciate that. Be sure to give us a subscribe as well. Everybody joining in. Duncan Walsh. I always think of Giggs, who could have solved the left wing issues for England's golden generation. Correct?
That's a big point there. Yeah.
Man was a proper speed merchant, as they call them now. And ex-fireball, water, greater. Of course. It's always good. And even coconut water is even better. I
just watching how deep Scotland have retreated, I mean, the line of confrontation was probably 20 yards into the opposition half. Now it's basically dropped to the halfway line, and we're never going to create chances if we sit back that deep. We're just going to be inviting pressure. So we need to get ourselves up the field. We need to squeeze the game, and we need to start to make passes around the opposition.
Yes, folks. So Scotland, look at those physical. They are committed to those tackles. McTominay is asking
the referee not.
If that's a goal, it's good. Oh my goodness! Luckily, it was a poor finish.
I think if that's a goal there, the VAR intervenes there because to me, McTominay really gets knocked off the ball there. You see McLaren there; he's furious. Sorry, not Clark there; he's furious. Yeah, McTominay in control of the ball, and then the player comes in. I mean, it's not meant, but it still stops the phase of play for Scotland.
And you can see, even though nothing came of it, Morocco, how quickly they transition into the attack and get into those attacking spaces. I mean, it was just a quick giveaway and boom, there's already a free guy in there.
And the sad reality is that could have been 2-0, you know, and basically game, set, match, really, as we're seeing a player there. So Scotland will be glad to get this little break, recoup again, but Robertson not looking happy at all.
So Duncan Walsh is asking, how much faith do you have in Angus Gunn? He's had a bit of criticism. What do you think, James?
I mentioned it in the last game. We do have a huge problem with the goalkeeping situation. Gunn's not played much this season. Craig Gordon's not played much, and Kelly's not played much. I think Kelly's actually played the most out of all the Scottish team, and he's the third choice Scottish keeper. So, I mean, he's a good keeper on his day. A couple of seasons ago, he had a great, run for Scotland, but that lack of game time, and then I think he had some injuries over the last 2 years, which worries me. But he's the younger of the two. I mean, some people would have played Gordon, but I think Gunn's at a good age. But like I say, that lack of match, minutes is a problem for me, and you can see that also the cohesion with the back line. He didn't play, I think one of the friendlies beforehand, so he's now learning the back line, and that's a problem I have.
Let's see, Timmy Two Knox, I'm here because I Googled Shaka as a Portsmouth fan and saw your live feed. Wow, I appreciate that.
That's fantastic.
That's crazy,
yeah.
The algorithm, I guess maybe is working for us, so I'm glad. Timmy Two Knox, where are you from? Where are you from, Timmy Two Knox? I love that name, by the way. And Miriam, I'll get to Miriam in a second. Oh, yeah, so there we go. Miriam says,
Diaz.
Sport, I'm not Moroccan, but I love the team. Oh, nice. That's okay.
Diaz dancing through the Scottish box at the moment. I mean,
Brahim Diaz.
They've got quite a few men in there. Scotland need to get that ball out of there. Diaz, they're whipping it across. They do well to crowd them out, but, we're not doing well at all in our own area. Now we've got quite a few numbers forward. I find we could go a little faster.
Yeah,
and there's I don't know
slow.
We're looking for the free kick there, but we get a bit lucky.
You could have released McTominay there as well. McTominay did well to start that counter-attacking play.
There seems to be some personal battles in the field, like I'm seeing. Obviously, the number 24 there, Ahui, him and Tierney getting at it quite a lot. He's obviously got a bloody mouth because he's got some tissue there covering it. As we see Hakimi there getting past Robertson, cutting back, and this is where he played in Diaz. But there seems to be a lot of personal battles. Scotland need to calm down a little bit. Ultimately we're only 1-0 down. We're still got an opportunity in this match, but if we start to switch off, that's when the game will go away from us.
Yes, folks. Folks in the chat, I've seen Timmy Two Knox is from England. So England and cheering on Scotland. Very nice. Very nice. So now Scotland has this free kick here. And let's see if they can make something of it. Folks in the chat, do you think Scotland, they're going to come back in this? Let us know your thoughts as well. Because, this Morocco, like I said, they were one of my dark horses for the World Cup. So if they can get a result here, it's whipped in.
It's a good ball this time by Robertson.
Scotland still in
Henry's going to keep it in, but he's closed down really quickly. But we're going to get the offside flag.
Wow.
Interesting. I didn't see that at all when he pulled out there, but we'll maybe see it again. As we've seen the Moroccan fans, they'll be delighted, but
let's see.
I don't think he's offside there.
No, not at all. Not even close. The other guy was offside.
But then the other guy wasn't affecting play, so I find that one very strange,
That's I think Morocco got away with one there.
You're basically that goes against Scotland because we were just starting to create something there, and obviously the ball goes straight back again to Morocco. Is Bono now going to kick the ball long?
And that's the thing with these sort of decisions, like those little small decisions could change the momentum of our game very quickly.
Well, confidence in football is a huge thing, and when you're on the kind of the attack, you're able to. But if you lose those things and they start to go against you, that's when obviously heads can go down. So we need to make sure we keep the heads up. Again, 2 men in a free area there. They seem to be double up and tripling up on Robertson, as in they've also got 3 men in the box. So we have to be on our toes there.
I'm seeing Miriam. Oh, I'm seeing I could have swear I saw another comment just now. I know some of them fly in and out. So there's a whole bunch coming in. So everybody, like I said, let us know your thoughts. Jason Brown 6231. Whoa, Morocco got a goal. Nigel Pierre. Scotland needs to be more patient.
Well, now's an opportunity. Christie driving forward, but he needs some options in front of him. This is the thing. They're running into nowhere because they've got nobody up top. And this is what I was concerned about. We're just having that one man, Che Adams, up top. And it's also maybe Che Adams need to run into the channels a little more, instead of being just central, because as Christie ran there with the ball, there's nobody in front of him.
Yep, folks. It's he had no outlets. He was by himself. And I don't know if that's by design or just how Morocco is playing, but
I've watched it a few times. We looked as if we wanted a diamond there. If you watch with Che Adams at the top of it, Christie, you've got McGinn and McTominay. But the problem with that is it's so narrow that when we win the ball, we're not utilising the space wide.
Correct. And we saw that against the Haiti game. Of course, the opposition is different with all due respect to Haiti. So I don't know if the overly cautious approach is probably a game plan.
I think maybe he's going this way for the first half, and then hopefully he'll let the, as they say, the horses out the traps in the second half, bring on the young pace, because we cannot continue like this the second half,
McGinn with a very combative piece of play there and eventually drawing the foul. Look at him.
Well, that's the one thing we have. We have a bunch of guys that are fighters on that field, and sometimes you need to utilise that. You need to start, going into tackles, winning the ball, and that builds that confidence. We've seen the match momentum there. It's, it's only 4 in Scottish favour to, a huge amount from Morocco there, So it just shows you we've not really been at the races today at all. We need to get on the ball. We need to get some confidence and try and get back into this game. It's a direct ball played towards McTominay, but again, the line holding well and the ball floating through to Bono again.
Yes. This is, with all things considered, even though it hasn't been a perfect game yet, I think outside conceding the early goal, I think kind of neutralizing Morocco so they don't have that continuous momentum. But you can see any moment Morocco is ready to pounce. They did get those half chances earlier. I would say more than half chances. So Scotland are definitely going to have to not just lose the ball in the middle area. Duncan Walsh. Do you think Scotland could get more out of Robertson and Tierney? If so, how? I'll let James answer that one.
Well, the one thing I find strange is, when you've got Tierney there, it allows Robertson to get forward a little more, but I'm not seeing it in this game. Like, to me, I've not seen Robertson get into the final third, which would allow, obviously, McGinn, McTominay to push into the box. So I think we can utilise the opportunity to have them both on the field, but we're not using it today. At the moment, I see Tierney more playing as a centre-back in the middle of the centre-back rather than the left-sided centre-back, which would allow him to then drop out to cover the left wide-back. So let's see if we can obviously put this one into the mixer this time, create something, put them on the back foot, because that's the only way we can take the game back to them.
Let's see, McTominay bicycle or something, I don't know, but yeah, I would love to see that.
I wish we'd get on his bicycle,
Oh yeah, he's not on the bike yet, so they're whipping it in.
So Ferguson going to whip this one in. We've got quite a few bodies forward, and we have, let's hope it's a good ball in. Yes, bad. It is a very good ball.
Very good.
So, and there's a man down on the edge of the box. I don't know what happened there as Hakimi comes away with it.
And the one thing I've noticed when Scotland goes, and it's probably one positive, they are causing the Moroccan players some problems where they're forcing fouls.
Yeah.
So, that's one positive. They could go into halftime. We're approaching in the 45th minute.
I think, like I said, we tend to have that ruggedness. So we do, tend to. I see McGinn there. Yeah. There seems to be a lot of, like I say, personal battles. I don't know if there's enough in that. Let me just see if does he catch him? Maybe his knee catch. I don't think there's any malice in it. His knee catches him maybe in the way past, but I think a lot of the Moroccan players are going down as well, which I find very interesting.
Yep, I think
I think if Hanley connects with that, it's a good opportunity. Yeah, but we really need to. I think half time's probably going to come in the next few minutes at the right time for us. Get in there, let Steve Clark give them the hairdryer treatment, give them a bit of rollicking, and then hopefully bring on some fresh young legs that can. Because I think opportunities will come the second half.
Yes, and of course, Morocco will most definitely. We're not there yet, so we'll get to that. But they'll probably come out at the halftime just like they did in the first half, but they want to get that second goal. That 1-0 lead, as cliche as it sounds, is one of the most dangerous leads. Outside maybe a 2-0.
Well, the thing is, if you think of the Brazil game, Brazil scored, I think, in the second half through Vinny Jr., So, they'll be thinking they'll need to be a lot more organised the second half because, they did lose that goal in the game. But we'll see, because one of the things I'm noticing is Morocco tending to build everything down the right-hand side.
Yes.
And ironically, that's our strongest side because you've got Tierney and Robertson there. You've also usually got McGinn there. But what I found strange is they've switched McGinn over to the right-hand side this time. Mm-hmm. So maybe they need to switch it back like we did the last game just to give that extra cover over there. As you see Henry driving forward.
Scotland trying to end the first half on a high.
It's a nice opportunity now. Now we've got men forward. Now we've got men in the box. Again, Robertson, though, he seems to go back, and you want to go forward there. And now we're back in, and we'll lose that momentum then to put it into the box. I don't know if he feels he can't beat Hakimi, maybe with pace.
Yeah, I was just going to say, possibly a confidence issue, maybe.
That's
Whipped
a
in.
nice ball
Could
there.
it be? Oh my goodness. If
And
that was
it's
connected.
still got
Still in. Oh
wow.
my gosh.
You know what? The funny thing is there, I think he had a lot more time, Robertson. He could have took a touch there and drove in a little bit instead of
Yeah.
whipping it one time.
He could have, yeah, he definitely had a
Huge
second or
chance
two.
here for Scotland. Huge
Oh
chance.
my goodness. So this is positive, you know, if you're Scottish, which James is, and you're supporting Scotland, you can take some positives because Morocco. Look at that. Look at that.
I think he takes a touch there, brings it in maybe a bit more. I don't know.
Cut
But
back and fake out maybe.
it's also a little bit of a whipped ball for McGinn to come in. It's a hard one to take, you know, there at the back.
Yeah.
Maybe he comes in and headers that. I don't know.
Yeah, I see he tried to. It was too quick for him to head it back towards the box. So Redo is it? Rachel. That's a little joke between myself. That's Andre Jones, a good friend of mine. He's going to join us for the Argentina game.
Oh, again, a knock off the ball there. And again, but then Scotland seem to like this, you
Come
know?
on, McGinn. Overlapping run. Inside. Ooh.
Getting past that big man Diop at the back there seems to be a pro. And then a man taken down again.
Could
It's
be
a nice
something.
touch there from Che Adams.
Nice cut back.
Oh, the break of the ball just keeps falling from Morocco there. But this is what we want. We want this. And now the half time's going to come. It's
Yes,
the
I
wrong
know.
time for us.
They probably would be so mad.
Is it a free kick here or a penalty?
Oh, it's a decent enough
I
shout
think
for a
he gets,
call.
you know, but again, VAR not looking at it. Interesting.
I don't know, these calls sometimes baffle me.
The referee looking at something.
Ah, yes,
This
folks.
could be the call, you know, the call we're looking for. Oh, no, VAR's
man.
looked at it and not enough in it, but that could have been a Hail Mary there,
Yep.
Andre.
I think the guys in the VR room saw what we saw. And I guess the ref probably overruled. So Scotland's going to heat that halftime is coming in. And you can see, you know, when Scotland does attack, Morocco do have a bit of a hard time, but, you know.
But we need to keep that kind of intensity up. That's the thing. When we started off the game, we started off really slow, and we saw what happened. But now when we're taking the game to them, we're playing a little bit more physical. Morocco don't seem to want to be in that fight, and
Right.
that's what we need to utilise.
And as James said, and a great quote from the great movie, which I'll not say, I'll let people in the comment section say, one chance, James.
Well, we got our one chance, we just didn't get it
Yeah,
there,
so
you
we
know?
need another chance. We need a couple chances. That's by Mel
Well,
Gibson,
that's
boys.
McGinn, I thought McGinn could have went. I don't know why he didn't go for it there, but again, this is positive. But again, it's coming too little, too late at the end of the half, I think.
Yes, folks. So, you know, we're 3 minutes, 20 seconds into the extra time here, approaching halftime. So, of course, we'll have our halftime talks as well. I'll probably go grab some more H2O for James.
Another foul off the ball there. I mean, I don't know. The referee allow it, and again another head knock. McTominay there,
McTominay is
and the
down.
referee doing nothing. And this is why the players are getting upset. You know.
And the crowd is getting on the referee's back as well. He's just not seeing it.
And what referees don't realise is when you don't make those calls, that's when players later on will dive into a challenge because they'll remember what happened and not do anything about it. You know,
Yes.
somebody's saying there we need more energy. That's exactly what we need. Now that we've picked up the pace a little bit, we look a lot better. You know. And I think Scotland always like that underdog, you know, the fact that everybody thinks to rule them out and, you know, they can go get something out of the game. So
Oh, yes.
maybe that's what we need.
And the thing is, you know, they're probably so annoyed that halftime is coming now because they finally got that moment, that episode.
But
That's-
I
yeah.
think what you're going to see happening is you've got a guy like, my brain went blank there, Dykes on the bench, who's a big, solid centre forward.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're going to see Shanklin and Dykes come in. You're probably going to see our two wide players come in, whether or not at halftime or just after, and Ben Gann and Doak and Finlay Curtis. And I think they will make a huge difference because this is going to be a battle the second half.
Oh, yeah.
Really a battle.
Oh yeah, so folks, you know, we're approaching halftime. I saw Redo, Timmy 2 knocks in there. So Redo, in case you all are wondering, Rachel is that reference on Batman. When he was saying Rachel with that voice. So in case you're wondering if he's calling us Rachel, he's not. So of course, folks, you know, the new people in there, we have a lot of people from Tokyo, London, all over the place. Wow. Be sure to give us a subscribe as well. Get More, the most loyal of them all, another guy from the UK. Welcome, Get More.
So there's a halftime whistle there.
Halftime, folks.
Scotland will go in. They'll be happy to regroup, but I think I would love to see that penalty call again there at the end. The two Scottish players there bawling at the referee now. But I think as well there's been a lot of calls the referees missed, especially duels in the air. And but we're still in it, you know. That's the beautiful thing of the game, you know. We lost that goal 2 minutes, and I have to say, I was really worried. I thought this could be a Curacao kind of against Germany
Yes,
result.
yes.
And I was starting to worry, but we've picked it up a little bit. Hopefully we can get, you know, the hairdryer treatment at halftime, calm the boys down, let Steve Clark do his thing, hopefully make some changes, and then we can, you know, get back at it the second half.
Yes, they're probably regretting that first half. I guess momentary lapse, but I think with all things considered, as we saw at the end there, the momentum maps will probably change a little bit. Scotland definitely showed they could cause Morocco a little bit of problems physically, and they'll take that positive going into the second half, and then Morocco as well will pay attention to that. But what we're seeing is that this Morocco team, as dynamic as they are, you can't put some pressure on them, you can't force some mistakes. And, Scotland have the players to do that. McGinn and these guys, everybody speaks about McGinn and McTominay, but the wide players, McGinn, as you said, James, is playing a bit more on the wide area, which, is a bit strange, but, he seems to be effective and, just getting that little lucky bounce we saw towards the end there. So, that's some positives for Scotland heading in there.
So any of our fans out there, we said we'd do it again. Obviously, I have the full kilt on, so yes. I'll give you a little twirl.
Oh, yes. People want to see the kilt.
I am in full kilt, full Scottish wear. I said I'd do it again, supporting, obviously, Scotland. We'll see how it goes, but I really appreciate all the comments today, because I think we seem to have more comments than normal, which is good, or more questions as the game going on. Nigel Pierre saying too many teams are playing with no intensity, and when they concede a goal, that is when they want to play with intensity. You're right. That's what I said right from the start, and this is the beautiful thing I noticed in this tournament. If you think about America, how they played in both of the games.
Oh, yes.
Intensity from the start, pressuring the ball, hunting it down. When you do that, you allow yourself to play on the front foot, and then defensively you can obviously organise while you're attacking.
Yes.
That's what they need to do. So I think there'll be a few changes at halftime, I would hope, from Scotland, because when we started to do that at the end there, we looked a far better team.
Correct. And there's more comments coming in here from Timmy Two Knox. Morocco have pushed their advantage and look like they are playing it safe. Have not pushed their advantage.
I think you're right there. I think they seem to have died down a little bit there. When they were playing the ball down the right-hand side, obviously with Hakimi, Buhari coming across to the right, they've got Diaz there as well. They seem to be getting a lot of favour there, and then when they're playing that little ball in behind, it was killing us, at the back. So I think, will I see us change maybe and go back to a back four, because I think they're going to have to do something to allow us to have more intensity, to have more of the ball, and to really play a little bit more creative, because I think, like I mentioned in the last game, it looks as if McTominay and McGinn have shackles on. You're not seeing them to the full, the level that we're used to seeing them,
Correct. And I don't know if that's a choice or it's a consequence of how Morocco is playing, because we know what they're capable of. I don't know if it was a discussion beforehand. Hey, listen, guys, let's not take too much chances. Let's try to keep from, let's not get a Curacao situation, because let's say many teams would have probably allowed the game to get the better of them after conceding so early in the game. And I think they did well to manage the game. Of course, it's not perfect, but I think with all things considered, I think they managed the game well. And they will probably start taking more chances in the second half.
Yeah, Timmy there asking about what is my tartan pattern. Well, this is actually the Beard tartan. Obviously, my last name is Beard, so this is the Beard clan. So I think there's 2 Beard tartans. This is one of them, but this is my favourite one. So I appreciate you asking that. It's good to see the fans out there getting interested in these things.
Stuff, man.
Yeah, I see Duncan Walsh. How do you feel about music during hydration breaks? All seems a bit NFL. We spoke about this. That's why I said I think we're going to go to basically 4 quarters. Within the next couple of years, you will probably see the game change, that we have 4 quarters instead of 2 halves, because I don't think it's going away. Mm-hmm. Some of these stadiums we know have roofs. They don't really need hydration breaks. I can understand if you're playing, like when we were in Mexico, we were coaching the national team. You need the hydration breaks in those kind of climates and those intensities, but I think you don't need it when you're in a fully enclosed stadium that's at 20 degrees, And also, somebody else mentioned, it's not an opportunity for the coaches to give encouragement or to change tactics. It's a hydration break. So there's things there that need to change.
This has completely changed the dynamic of the game. We spoke about that last night on our show. So those of you, the new people, we usually have our daily wrap-ups. So I see Duncan Walsh is saying, but hey, maybe that's what a World Cup is all about, the host nation imposing their own football culture on the spectacle. And a lot of people have been talking about that, Duncan. A lot of people have been talking about, America, putting their touch on the tournament. Some people like it, some people don't. But I get what you're saying.
I actually like that. I never thought about it from that perspective, and I think it's a very good point, Duncan, because, the World Cup, obviously we know the last one was in Qatar. There was, no alcohol and different things. Culturally, there was things that couldn't happen, So maybe that's a good spin on it, to look at it that way. And as I say, you can see the one thing that I would appreciate is there doesn't seem to be any trouble. like I say, the fans are all getting on. It's great to see. Like, I've seen videos of the Mexican fans and the Korea fans dancing and partying together.
Yes.
You know, the Scottish fans, you know, partying with whoever they're playing against, you know. So that's what it's all about, because I think the World Cup is basically a celebration of football.
Yes, yes, and that's a clash of, I shouldn't say a clash, but a mixing of cultures, very similar to like the Olympics. And I think, you know, it's one of the things we loved about the World Cup over the years when we were younger. You know, James and I, giving away the age a little bit, you know, we got to see the pre-internet World Cups, you know, and now we could look back on the FIFA archives and see these old tournaments and see the excitement of seeing these different teams and the culture that they bring, you know, Brazil, the Argentinas, the Germany, Scotland, the smaller teams, even Trinidad and Tobago when they made it in 2006. It is one of the things outside the footballing aspect that, you know, people like. And, you know, there are the negatives as well, but, you know, I think there's more positives than negatives. And, you know, this tournament, it's one of the most covered tournaments. The fact that we all are sitting here at the EXTV studios and chatting with people all over the world, with Duncan and everybody else, shows how much the game has grown and how we can connect with each other. You know, James being Scottish, I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. It's very much an evolution of the game in the right direction. I know there's people who criticize other things, but from that aspect, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, to me, as long as you're not taking away from the game,
Yeah,
it's something positive. So, I mean, like I said, some people seeing the negatives. I mean, sometimes when you think about it too hard, you know, you start to think about it negatively. But I love that comment there from Duncan. I think it's great. I mean, that's what it's all about. And also getting different perspectives, you know. I'm watching an advert here, basically, and you can see it's promoting every aspect of America, you know, and that's,
yes.
or not just America, so America, Canada, and Mexico. So, and even we got a glance there of, I think it was Taribo West, one of the Nigerian players. That again, giving away our age, but it's a wonderful moment. I mean, could you imagine me, one of these players, being at this World Cup? You know, I was telling my son, could you imagine getting to 80 and telling somebody you went to a World Cup? You know, that kind of thing. You know, it's amazing, and that's what it's all about.
So Nigel Pierce saying, yeah, that's true, because where else in the world you call football soccer? Only in the US. Yes, and you know, I always they always poke fun at me when I go there, and I poke fun back at them. I remembered when I went to the Copa America 2016. In between the games, I went to, you know, a Comic Con sort of thing, and you know, was saying, hey, we call it soccer here, and I was like, well, I call it football, and you know, just a little friendly banter. And, you know, just seeing the clash of cultures. And, you know, I've been paying attention to the MLS more in the last couple of years. I've seen the growth. And, you know, the host nation, I guess you will see the flavor. We saw it in South Africa. We saw it in Brazil. And, you know, the next World Cup, we'll see how it goes there. But there are more eyes than ever on this tournament. And, you know, the interaction and the engagement is different with streamers. You know, folks, who knows where James and I will end up before this tournament is done. You know, we may end up across there at some point, so you could pay attention. And, you know, James was speaking about the Heat earlier. In case you all didn't know, James and I, you know, James being a former Scottish, you know, goalkeeper as well, and he's a coach right now. We also work together on the women's national team, so we definitely understand, you know, that high temperature in Monterrey, Mexico. It was insane. It was over 40 degrees Celsius. You know, I was in Houston many times doing some stuff with Houston Dynamo and so on. And as a Caribbean man, you would think we'd be able to handle that heat, and it's crazy. And I understand the arguments for and against water breaks. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, some people died and passed away from this thing. So, yeah. So more comments coming in. So, James, you could take these two while I step away for a second.
Yeah, well, I'm seeing obviously one from the ex-Fireball, Australia, Canada, Ireland, and Japan call it soccer unless they are more hardcore fans. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I mean, we know what it means either way, you know, in a sense. I mean, obviously, American football is obviously a little different. And then obviously, I'm seeing Miriam there saying, soft music to relax, right? Well, good. So you give you the time for Morocco, then Scotland will finish. Well, not bad. Well, let's see. I mean, as I say, I think the next 45 is going to be obviously key for Scotland. I think it's going to be a real battle, because I think you could see that, you know, Scotland started to take the game back to Morocco. And I was just thinking of tactically there. I mean, obviously, in possession, it looking like Scotland are playing a back three. Out of possession, obviously, they play in a back five, you know. I think we're going to see some tactical changes. Patterson obviously came in at right back. I think he will stay. I think maybe we might go back to a back four and allow one of the younger ones like Bengan and Doak to come in. Maybe somebody else to come and complement Che Adams up top. But I think, you know, I was thinking about Morocco, you know, will they be happy with how they played? I think Diaz, Hakimi, Ayanui there and looked good, and obviously Sabari took his goal really well. So I think they'll want to get on the ball and do what they did, obviously, in the first half, start getting a bit of possession again. But that's where the fight's going to come, and I think Scotland's going to take the game back to them there. So it's going to be a real interesting second half, and I really hope our boys can come out and show up and really take the game to Morocco, because, you know, if we get a point from this game, it basically sends us through. I mean, to be honest, if it's a point from Morocco, obviously they need to win.
Mm-hmm.
They need to win one of their 2 games, because they basically say once you get to 4 points, you're through, you know?
Yes, yes.
So it's going to be an interesting group. Obviously, Brazil play Haiti later on tonight, I think.
Yes, yes.
That'll be an interesting game too, because, you know, Haiti lose that and they're out. So, and that we're at that stage of the tournament now with the second game, you know, teams could be going home early, you know, in theory, you know? So
it's, you know, it's make or break time for a lot of teams here. You know, everybody wants to get that result. Scotland wants to make history, of course. You know, Morocco just want to comfortably seal their qualification into the next round. I know there's a lot of third place discussions and so on, but, you know, you don't really want to rely on that. And then, of course, then there's the draw as well, depending on where you... There's a lot of people saying, the conspiracy theorists, that some teams will intentionally come third. I think for the bigger teams, that's too much of a risk, because, you know, it implies too much, you know, self-sabotage, and I don't think that's a thing. But
I think you go win your group, and then, you know, you're safe, because you're not going to play against one of the winners, you know. That's
correct.
That's what I always say, you know.
I agree too.
But you're right, I think teams do try and finish, you know. And the interesting thing with this World Cup is, now with the introduction of third place, it's going to make it a lot more difficult. Those third places, let's be honest, are probably going to play the first place on the other group, I would imagine.
Yes, yes.
So it's going to be difficult if you finish third. But again, it gives you that opportunity to stay in the competition a little longer.
Yes, yes. So, you know, it's not as daunting as it was in the past, except for Haiti tonight. Timmy, 2 knocks. Can you still get through with 3 points?
It's doable. It is doable, but it depends on goal difference, and also, because basically what's happening to me, I think it's 8 teams that qualify, or is it 6?
I think 8 teams.
8 teams.
Chat, you could check for us as well.
It's the top 8 teams that qualify, I think. So obviously those 8 teams with the most points, and if it is teams with 3 points, obviously it'll go down to goal difference and then head to head. So you could maybe go through with 3 points, but it depends on the other third place teams in each group, you know, because teams could finish with 3 points, you know?
Correct, and, you know, it depends on the criteria and all these things. Remember, folks, the last World Cup, there were teams that even got through because they had a better disciplinary record. So, you know, I actually like that. A lot of people didn't like that, but I actually think it's good. It kind of gives you a player who probably wants to just go bash somebody and get a red card. You may think twice next time. Hey, you know, this may come back to bite us in the behind. So there's so many little mechanisms at play. But of course, you know, the current focus right now is Scotland. So, James, you know, what do you think Scotland needs to do heading into this second half?
Well,
let us know as well.
I think we need to get another centre forward on to play with Che Adams up top. I think we need to get our wide player, at least Ben Gannon-Doak, on, and then maybe later on in the game get Finlay Curtis on. But I think defensively as well, he's got a big decision. Does he stay with the back 3 or back 5 out of possession or in possession? I think he's going to go back to a 4 now, which will allow a bit more in midfield, because it's going to be a battle in there. We're going to have to get on the ball. We're going to have to create things, because ultimately, if the game stays as it is, it's not going to benefit us anything.
Yes, yes, you know, so Scotland ending on a positive note, you know, and at the end of the first half, with all things considered, I said this repeatedly, this could have been a landslide for Morocco, but Scotland did well to claw back in and control the narrative a little bit, and even create some half chances in the end there. So I'm pretty sure we see the players coming back out.
They look like they got absolutely rollicked at halftime.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
They have that look. Where, listen, guys, come on. And of course, you can see the heat. You can see the expression on their faces. So, Timmy, 2 knocks. Scotland need to come out with more energy. And I think they will, but I think they have to be careful. You don't come out too recklessly, and that's the problem. You can be punished with these teams like Morocco.
I'm actually watching there. It doesn't look like, from what I see there's any changes so far, which is a tactic from a coach. Sometimes, you know, you roll out your team at halftime and hope for a response, you know, and then you tell them, you know, if within 5 minutes you're not changed anything, you then make changes, you know. So maybe that's the right thing to do, but I do think we need to get some of those players on. We'll see as they come out, but and Scotland looking like they're the first team out the tunnel as well, which is interesting. Usually the team that's kind of behind a little bit is out there. They're eager to go, you know. They want to go out and show, you know, what they can bring the second half. So hopefully we can bring it. As I say, absolutely fantastic views there, as we've seen in Boston again. I think the views are, I mean, I'd love to be there. The stadium looks so bright. There's so many fans there, and they look like they're having an absolute ball.
Yes, yes. The atmosphere, a lot of people have been talking about the atmosphere, but I think it's in full World Cup swing now, and everybody's in on board. All the different countries, states all around the US, Canada, and Mexico. Mexico is a football mad nation. The US, if you told me 20 years ago it would be such a football mad nation, and there's stats to back this up, it's the most popular sport amongst the youths. They have basketball, the NFL, and all these other sports. That's crazy how far the MLS has come. I have regular conversations, not so much lately, but with my good friend Thomas Rongan and so on. And, it's interesting. And then, of course, with Messi heading across there, I think that definitely gave them that jump in terms of viewership. They started with the David Beckham approach, and I think they did really well over the last couple of years. You had Steven Gerrard and Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Frank Lampard, Kaká, and all these guys. And I think that took them up to a decent level. But I think having Leo Messi there for the last couple of years really pushed some eyes on not just on the MLS teams, but on awareness about football.
I'm just looking at some of the ratings, actually, as you're talking there for the players. Obviously, Sabari, who scored the goal, obviously looks like a 6.7, but everybody else in his own team is way below a 6, except for Diaz, 5.9, and all the Scotland players. I mean, the highest Scotland player, according to this, is Robertson, which is ironic because when I watched the game, like I said, except for the end there, I thought Robertson was non-existent. So that's interesting how they pulled up those stats. But
let's see if we get the countdown right this time, folks. So, folks, the halftime flew by really quickly, and like I said, folks, everybody in here, before we get started, be sure to show us your support by subscribing, liking, follow us as well on all our social media. It really helps. So let's see if we can get the countdown right this time.
We just need that one chance now, Andre. One chance to come back here.
I would throw myself. Oh, there's a countdown on top. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Oh.
Kick off.
So they're going to play it right into the corner there, and they're going to force Morocco back. That's a good tactic. I like this. And again, it's funny, we talk about American football. This all reminds me so much of American football.
In the end zone.
Yeah, the quarterback gets a throw back and then throws it, down the field. I mean, it's ironic that the game is played in America and that's how we're playing, but that's the way the game's changed these days. Hakimi there taking a throw to Buadi, and he's going to play that long. We need to win that first ball. Yeah, well done, Henry.
I'd really love to hear your thoughts on that. Luis Enrique sort of brought it back, and now all the other teams are doing it with PSG. Just that kickoff at the kickoff, kicking the ball forward. It's an evolution of the game. Initially a lot of people didn't like it, they didn't understand it, but it's very, very an interesting way to put pressure on the opposition team.
It's funny, I watch obviously Rush Sports Tactics there at the bottom, and they're saying Scotland are playing with a front two, which I find comical because McTominay's playing the centre midfield there, so that cannot be right,
Yeah.
But I think that's what we need to get to that point. And it looks like a good battle over there again from McGinn as he just won that ball.
In case you all are wondering why I got silent, people are asking me to send a chat to them, so I am doing that.
McTominay getting on the ball again, but 3 players around him. Ferguson now plays it out. It looks like Patterson on the ball. Scotland now getting a good bit of possession. Somebody said, is it a rugby tactic? Well, it could be actually, because they do that in rugby as well. It's a very good observation. It's Henry that plays it out to Robertson. We're looking a lot more positive this half, trying to create things, trying to double up wide areas, trying to find that little hole that we can pick and, get through and try and create something. So that's a lot more positive from Scotland.
Yes, and, putting that pressure back on Morocco, because they're a team that thrives on the attack and putting pressure on you. So, it's good to see. And we saw in the first half some little cracks in the Moroccan defense when you put some pressure on them. And for a team as powerful as Morocco, I think Scotland are doing a great job. Of course, we want that equaliser. So
that's a great ball. Robertson now, will he get it into the box? I think that big man at the back, I think it's Diop for Morocco. I said he's a naturalised Moroccan. He looks solid there. He's always winning the headers, and that's... Oh, the referee there just telling one of the Scottish players his socks are too low, which is interesting.
Wow. Is that a thing? I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's funny when they pick on things like that. I always find, it's a style, but it's a personal choice of the player. He's got shin guards on, so, I don't think there's a reason why to tell the player there is Tierney going to take the long throw in. So hopefully we can get the first header into the box here.
Long throw into the box. Morocco not doing well to clear it out convincingly.
Back again to Tierney. Still got quite a few men forward, so hopefully they'll put it in. And this is a problem I have when you try and rotate the ball, but then you lose out. They still have all those men forward. And the one thing Morocco do, they do tend to close down the ball quickly there. As the number 10 there, Diaz gets on it, and he's going to look for that ball in behind. You can see there, Sabari there trying to get in behind the Scottish back line. And McGinn there winning a nice little push. He's got an opportunity there.
Not much passing options.
The problem is he's got nobody to support. Ah, that's a penalty, no?
Come on, ref, is it? McTominay is furious. The Scottish players are surrounding the ref. McGinn.
Nothing there?
They're going to have to look at that, James. They're going to have to look at that.
I mean, that's in the box as well.
I think it's a.
Does he touch him? I have to see it again.
Let's see. So McGinn.
See, I think he goes down, but my point is he still gets the hit. But the referee not looking at it. I don't understand that. There's 2 or 3 games now we see that they're not going to VAR.
They should at least look at it. That's crazy. McGinn is furious. I think they are looking. Are they? Are they not?
No, the referee telling him to go ahead again. You know, that again,
wow.
Craziness there. But
that's nonsense. That is nonsense. Scotland with a legit penalty appeal, folks, and the ref just...
But I find this referee 2 or 3 times in the game now, he's not making calls. He's saying hold, though.
He's checking something. Okay, no, that's crazy.
But he doesn't seem to have very good control over the game either, though. I'm watching that, you know.
I noticed in the first half when the falls were being ignored, if you looked at his peripheral vision, he looked like he was a little bit lost.
The good thing is this will incite Scotland now. Hopefully, if I'm a Scottish player now, I taking this back to them. You know, I leaving the foot in a little bit, which is not necessarily good, but still using that to drive me on.
Yeah, of course, of course. So for score is stating, even though Rush said something else, it's a 4-4-2, but you know, 4-4-1-2 with McTominay behind. This is what you don't want from Morocco.
Oh my gosh. It hits the bar there. That's a great opportunity there for Sabari there. But again, Scottish player getting hit off the ball. But again, this all comes from that not making not even looking at the penalty. But again, you can see Sabari there. He drops back, he holds back, and he does really well to even get the shot in there.
Yeah, that was crazy, and that's where Morocco thrives. They do I call it the EFC move. You run
it's
down.
Actually a great defensive challenge, though. It's the defender there that knocks it onto the bar.
Correct, because that would have been directly on goal. I'm not sure with that kind of power, but the keeper could have done to stop that.
So Morocco going to bring all the big boys up now, Diop and Issa, but they're actually going to take it short. We've seen a lot of short corners in this World Cup so far. Obviously changing the angle of the attack. Oh, it's a dangerous ball, very dangerous ball in there. Yeah, Diaz whipped it in there, but
Diaz has a lot to prove.
Yeah, Scotland really have to pick it up again now.
And those are those little calls that make the difference in the game. You know, going back to that penalty shout. You know, like to me that is ridiculous. The crowd, I don't know if they're booing. I can't really tell.
So if there's any referees in the feed, you could let us know what you thought about that. If it was or it wasn't even, or it should have been looked at, or shouldn't have been looked at. As we see this corner going to come in again.
Bit of theatrical rolling around by one of the Moroccan players there.
See the referee watching it intently now though, but he wasn't earlier on, which I find interesting. Ball played in. Great save by Gunn. Absolutely fantastic save by Gunn.
I thought that was it. I
thought it was in too, but he did so well there to keep that out. Referee again having a word with 2 players, but
I don't feel maybe the pace of the game is too much for him, because in the first half when
wow. He needs to get a new shirt there. Yeah, obviously a battle with somebody in there.
His mouth is busted, his jersey's gone. Wow,
that's a great save. I mean, I would actually, it's a great save, but what I would say is his starting position was too far out.
Yes.
Because that's why he got caught so much like that. But again, you can see there a little pull. I think it was him and McGinn.
And McGinn is a feisty guy, so you know he's gonna try to get under your skin, and that is one
try to get under your skin or try to get in your shirt. I don't know.
To expose your skin, apparently. You know, because you know, Morocco, they are a fiery team, and you know they do play with a lot of emotion. So you know, if you can use that to your advantage, I can see McGinn getting under their skin a little bit. Morocco in the box there, a little bit dangerous, but
Gunn there coming and scooping it up, and hopefully now we can get back into position and we can get back up this field now. That's a dangerous ball. I don't understand why we played. I know we only have 8 seconds, let's say, to clear the ball from the goalkeeper gets in his hands, but still, we give away the ball now and we give it right back to Morocco. I think this is the time now where Steve Clarke needs to make a change.
Correct.
We need to get an injection of some kind of energy, a little bit of inspiration, so we can create something.
Yes, because now it just played into Morocco's hands. doing that ball like
yeah,
that.
Scotland's went a bit as quiet as the feeds went just now. Yeah, I don't know.
yeah. Everybody's watching right now. Everybody's quiet. So everybody in the chat as well. Do you think Scotland is going to come back? Let us know what you think. I see throughout the entire game, a lot of viewers have been flying in all over the planet. Let us know where you're from as well. And, can Scotland get something from this game? And what do you think they need to do? And if you have any questions for James as well, you can ask.
Scotland playing themselves into trouble, though. They seem to always want to play the ball back, and it's a problem. It's something I noticed when we were talking about Portugal. They were talking about different players in the Portuguese team. They always want to play the ball back. The first option should always be to play the ball forward. And if you don't do that, you're putting yourself under pressure. And so, but the one thing I would say is Morocco really blocking the passing lines really well, and they're taking out players so that Scotland can't play to them. But we need to find solutions, and that's obviously what about being a coach is all about, finding solutions to break down the opposition. Scotland now trying to build it on the left-hand side. Again, a little push. Again, the referee, he's not making, somebody saying expected more energy. I agree, and that's why I think it's time to probably make one of those substitutions.
Yes, because, Morocco, as you rightfully said, they're making it difficult for Scotland to build from the back. You can see here, even on the wide side, not bad, but snuffed out in the end by Morocco. He's saying all ball.
Ferguson just saying that he got the ball there, but
let's see
here. I think he touches the ball. I mean, his second foot probably maybe catches him, yeah. So I would say it probably is a free kick that time. But what I would say is it's not, the foul count is not equal. The Scotland are getting fouls, they're not getting the call.
Correct. I agree with you.
One of the things I would notice, but we need to keep Morocco in this part of the field now, because obviously they're a very dangerous team, and the problem again I have is with this one centre forward, you're bypassing him. That's a good tackle there this time, and that's what we need. We need to have that kind of fight, that kind of intensity. Ferguson there, but he needs support. Buadi there,
that's
a little push.
That should
again,
be a foul.
No. And it's a push.
Come on, ref.
And the referee not giving it again. The referee needs to take a real look at himself.
Come on, ref. That is ridiculous. There is no way Scotland are not getting any luck with these calls. Very good tackle in the end there. Grabbed his arm and shoved him.
A blatant push there.
I'm trying to figure out what this ref is thinking. His calls are very inconsistent. Very inconsistent.
I'm just watching there. Nigel Pearce, Morocco is playing high press. Scotland needs to play much faster and support quicker. I agree with you. They are pressing us high, but what they're doing is they're pressing in spurts, for example. So they're building out, they're taking a bit of the sting out of the ball, and then they press in when Scotland win the ball back.
Yeah, I think they have to be careful. You press, but you don't end up conceding and have a bigger hole to come out from. So as you said, selective pressing. And I think as the game goes along, if it stays like this, then you'll start to see Scotland taking some risks, because at that point in time, you want to get that result. And right now it's still very manageable at 0-1. And the controlling Morocco's ability to get into the box right now is important. So yes, Morocco probing. And as somebody said earlier in the chat, Morocco, and I think it's also, kudos to Scotland and how they're set up. They're not allowing them to play that, those intricate triangle passes and getting down the wings.
See, the problem with that is, I agree with you totally, but what I would say is sometimes when you, like I mentioned about shackling players, so we're basically having to have those two banks of four, but by doing that, you're limiting your creative options going forward, and that's the little problem. I've always said that we have some 2 or 3 exceptional players, but we generally have good players. We don't have world-class fully through the squad like other teams do, so you need to get those creative moments and build on it, and we're not getting a chance to build on it right now. We've seen Buadi there drifting into a zone there, which he's a really good player. Again, Scotland running back into an area it just came from, and again, I don't like that at all.
McTominay perhaps showing a bit too much confidence there. This could be a problem here.
See the hand going up there for offside, but again, you need to play to the whistle. That's another thing.
Well dealt with, though.
Yeah, he did well, but a lot of schoolboy errors there as Scotland trying to come forward. But again, you've got one man up top, and it's very difficult for Che Adams to win. Against he's got 2 defenders marking him. So again, we need to start to give him some kind of support. McTominay there, but really McTominay, playing a little deeper than he's used to playing.
So this is an interesting point in the game here. It's almost like a chess match we're looking at. And we'll see how both coaches deal with the situation as it goes along. Morocco, in a reasonably comfortable position. So Scotland is going to have to pick their battles here now.
referee going to have a word with somebody. I don't know what. Oh, somebody down on the ground there for Scotland. Tierney got a kick maybe. And Tierney's been a player over the last few years that's had a lot of...
I guess a strategic moment to catch a breather as well.
No, he's had a lot of injuries over the last few years, you know, and that's been a problem for him and for Scotland, you know. So I think I got the impression there he was saying that he's done.
Yep.
I don't know if that was, you know, as you say, just taking a moment to rest, or you know, he's actually done. But maybe it's a good thing. It means that Robertson's going to have to drop back though, and you're going to have to bring maybe one of the younger guys in now, and which may not be a bad thing. Yeah, Ben Gannon Doak going to come on. We need him on the field, which is probably we're going to see McGinn switch over this time, because Ben Gannon Doak did so well on the right hand side the last time.
I remember against Haiti, yeah.
And the good thing is, obviously, with Hakimi and the attacking, there's going to be gaps there, so it's maybe an area he can exploit.
Yes, they're probably going to try to expose those overlapping runs. But yeah, I guess Morocco is also being careful, not overly committing too much, as somebody said earlier in the chat as well. So it's getting intense now, folks. It's getting intense. James, people who are supporting Scotland, can Scotland get it? The ref trying to push the medical staff off. I know there was a rule as well, but you know, that's another part of the rule where, you know, depending on the type of injury, that's how fast.
Well, if it's an injury and you're having to walk, I mean, you're supposed to be off the field within 10 seconds. There's no way that can happen when the medical team's on the field, when a player's down on the field, you know, that kind of thing. So it's a good rule, but so hopefully this sees Scotland play a little bit more positive now. We still have the one up top, which worries me. I mean, he's saying, as I say, different places saying, obviously McTominay playing up there too, but if you watch, he's not the direct, you know, he's now going to pressure, but he's not really playing as a two.
You can see McTominay simply gesture to them, let's pressure now. Like, it's almost like maybe he's the one in charge of that. Like, he's the one that on-field, to make that on-field decision, you think?
Oh, and that's, to me, it's another foul there. I mean, the guy's on his back, and then the one thing I was just going to say before that, the game got a little bit stretched there for a minute. You know, there's about a 70-yard, you know, gap in players, you know, from back to front. Scotland now trying to break those lines and try to get through them. Robertson on the ball now, and this is a problem I have. We're not the best team to play it out from the back. You know,
correct.
I would rather we do that further up the field. You know.
But with all things considered, I think with the nature and relentless nature that Morocco presses, I'm genuinely impressed as a quote-unquote neutral. And in terms of the styles of football, how Scotland are handling it so far. Now, as the game goes along, that lapse at the beginning.
Because look, now McTominay now playing in the 6, and he's saying he's centre forward, you know, so interesting that. But then I do notice that McGinn switched and went up top as well. But again, now a chance now for the number 23.
This is where Morocco are dangerous.
Yeah, but obviously Scotland coming across and sweeping it up. But they seem to go in a little burst. They're two wide players, which is obviously Diaz and El Khalnoussi. You know, they keep, you know, being dormant for a little while and then coming into the game.
Yes. I think a tactical foul there. I think they understand the danger that Morocco possesses coming down those wings.
But the funny thing is, what I would say is, it has to be fair on both sides. So there was several free kicks in the other end of the half, and the referee not giving them exactly the same.
Yes, I definitely think the ref has, in the majority of the cases, got this wrong. Especially, you know, Scotland has been on the negative end of this.
This is a dangerous position, obviously, a free kick. You know, one whipped in there. It looks like Hakimi standing over it. So we're going to have to be on our toes here.
So we're on the hour mark on this game, folks. If you're just joining us, whipped in.
That's a good winner, a good header there at the front zone. Ball up in the air again. But there's that big man Diop we were talking about. He's really good in the air for Morocco. And they still have quite a few players in the box, so they'll be trying to get that in. Ooh, and it's a dangerous opportunity again, but Gunn looked like he had it covered, but we need to get out now. Get us up the park, start playing, you know, a little bit further up the park and start that positivity. We brought Ben Gannon Doak in now. Hopefully he can inspire us a little bit.
And Hakimi doing well to create space for himself there.
And Gamey going back, putting ourselves under pressure.
Yes. Come on, Scotland. Let's see this. McTominay running. Oh, not McTominay, sorry.
I think that was Henry, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's okay. We got squeezed up the field. A chance for McGinn now to put some pressure on Hakimi now. Ball back to the goalkeeper, Bono. Did well there. And you can see they're comfortable at times. I mean, they don't seem comfortable centrally, but with a guy as composed and as good a player as Hakimi, I mean, I don't like a pass across the face of my goal. I'll say that. You know, he did do that there, but But Scotland now look like they're attacking sometimes with a 4, which is good. We need that. So 62 minutes on the clock, a long way to go though, but hopefully we can still stay as resilient at the back and start creating some opportunities.
I can see Morocco trying to take this thing out of the game a little bit, because I think they're anticipating a potential Scotland onslaught, if you want to say, and they're slowing it down.
I mean, the other thing you've got to think of it from Scotland's perspective, you know, they might hold this off as long as they can and then go for it the last 10 minutes, you know, because ultimately at the moment it's still
Could be
only 1-0,
something
you know.
Nice
McTominay,
ball to the top.
nice ball to Christie, and a
Shot!
chance there.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Just over. Wow. He just leaned back too much there.
Yes. What a good shot. Timmy two knocks, but look at this nice opening here. So Timmy two knocks, I get nervous when they play it out of the back. Yeah, I think we all do. I think they did well to not just create this, but intercept and create that chance.
I think here he sees the guy coming in on his left, on his right hand side there, and he's kind of falling there. You know, he didn't connect to it properly. It's a great position there. I mean, no disrespect, I'd rather that falls to McTominay or McGinn there in that role. You know.
Oh yeah, it would have been perfect for McTominay.
But what I like is we're actually pressuring them. We're trying to not let them come out and get past, you know, our first line.
And you can see they're trying to narrow the passing lanes here.
I think very soon, though, like I said, Che Adams is working hard. That's well done again for Robertson.
Oh, we got some spam in there, but don't worry, folks.
Yeah, don't click the links.
Yeah, don't click on that spam, folks. I'll get rid of it while James continues.
So an opportunity now, it's going to be a goal kick again. But what I like is Scotland now pressure. They're putting pressure on the ball. They're putting pressure on Morocco and trying to get something. We've seen 2 or 3 subs there out in the line warming up. And I think we're going to see probably 2 more Scottish subs very soon. But there's still a lot to play for. There's still, you know, a lot in this game as Diop gets the ball and it goes to Hakimi. They're trying to play through. All Scotland need is the commentator just said a half chance. You know, we do. And there, McTominay does well with his body there, but he's got to remember the ball as well. He's got to take the ball and not the man, you know?
So you could see a couple minutes ago, I saw on McTominay almost like, okay, guys, time to press. So you think that was an on-field decision?
Yeah, and there's that ball again. The referee giving a free kick there? I cannot believe that.
I feel as if the Moroccans know how to manipulate this ref a bit in this particular case.
And Robertson just saying there, the linesman said it's not a free kick. And that's what I'm saying, the referee playing his own game really here. You know, he's not using his linesman. Because to me, Robertson there, they're trying to play that ball in behind Robertson. They got the goal from it, you know. But let's see it again. I don't know if there's anything in this. I think that's soft. A lot softer than the penalty, for example, call.
Correct.
And the other calls.
Yeah, some dodgy calls here, folks. Some dodgy calls. Cue the X-Files music.
And Morocco now trying to load that box and get that ball in. They've obviously got 3 players over there. Scotland look like they do have the numbers back, but we'll see if they can cope with this. Bouadi on the ball. Plays it across to El Anoui. Don't know if I'm getting the names right. Obviously, the Moroccan pronunciation is a little different with some of the players with French heritage and things like that,
Correct.
You know. But Diop there. But what I like is we're forcing them back a little bit, forcing them to work. But we just need a little bit of creativity from somewhere, whether it's from a McGinn or McTominay, something to come in the game. I mean, I know a lot of neutrals will probably be watching and saying this is a very boring game, but
I don't think so.
This is sometimes what you have to do to get results in games. You know, sometimes you have to ride, you know, the hard moments and then, you know, counter attack or in transition win the ball.
And I think this is a key moment, as you said. Scotland have to try to get something going. But at the same time, let's see, Miriam, you're right.
I'll take that. I'm right.
We'll take that, Miriam. We'll take that. It's very rare that we get it, so we'll take it. So Morocco probing. Looking composed.
I mean, Hakimi gets on the ball a lot, though, for a right fullback, and they utilise him a lot. Obviously, he does attack a lot. Bouadi's obviously been heavily involved. The number 24, as I say, I was just talking about there, El Aoui, you know, very comfortable on the ball. And then, obviously, the number 8, Onahi, who's obviously a very good player. The referee not giving a free kick this time. Thought he was going to call it there and a chance for Scotland to break, but I think Ben Gannon-Dope not really up. Is he going to challenge the Man United player there? But Diop getting on the ball. But that's going to be a nice battle to see, obviously, the Man United player, which is Mazraoui. I think he's a Man United player, am I not mistaken there? I think he is.
So. And this is where, you know, Scotland are going to have to be careful, because on the one hand, you want them to press and get the ball and create chances, but then, you know, Morocco is so dangerous on the attack. Like, for example, here.
Yeah, Diaz is a very nifty player. He's got nice footwork as well. You got to watch that.
So, it's the dilemma I guess coaches have. Do you attack with the risk of conceding a goal when it's so finely balanced? When do you do it? That's the question.
Yeah, and at one point, the Scottish coach is going to have to say, well, who do I sacrifice? I mean, we've seen the second hydration break. So this is going into the fourth quarter after this,
Yes, we're going.
But this is the moment. He needs to pump up the boys now. He needs to tell them, you got to leave it all out in the field. Mm-hmm. Get that one chance here to come back and tell our enemies, We've got to do that. Inspire them. Do everything you can in this moment. Because, again, we know football's about moments, They've not done so well defensively. We need to create something. We need to start carving out opportunities. And we need to, as I say, we need to get some fresh legs in the field. I think, obviously, Che Adams is running his race up top for Scotland. We need to get somebody else on. I know he'll be reluctant to put a Shanklin there on his own because Shanklin usually plays well with somebody around him.
Yes.
And the way it's, McTominay having to drop back, it's maybe not ideal for him, So that's why I'm saying maybe they go with Dykes. The problem with Dykes is he's not as prolific goal scoring as Shanklin, So these are the dilemmas that coaches have. So it's not an easy thing being a coach at all,
Correct.
Stressful. Big decisions in the right moments.
That's why these coaches look the way they do. They have a lot of decisions to make. And I'm guessing this is a pivotal point with this water break, which will be heading into the fourth quarter, as the Americans say. Miriam is saying, Timmy says, Scotland look frustrated. Miriam, same here. Timmy too. I think so. I think you're right. You saw McTominay's face when they were coming off there. He looks like annoyed, like, guys, come on. We need to be doing more. That's how he looked, because I saw a couple minutes before when he gestured to the crowd, to his teammates, press, like he was telling them do it. So I'm guessing, it's time to see how they react. So I'm guessing more than likely the coach is saying, all right, guys, we're approaching the last couple of minutes of the game now. Let's take it to them.
I think they're going to try and slow everything down.
Yeah.
They're winning, They won't want to do too much, I mean, if they get an opportunity, great. But I think, I'll be honest, if I am Steve Clark now, within the next 5 to 7 minutes, I mean, if the game stays as is, I may be going to a full back three now.
Right.
Pulling off one of my defenders and, getting us a little bit more on the field. I see McLean there in the huddle now, so maybe he's obviously coming into the field because, and also we spoke about him. Lyndon Dykes, the big, strong striker, ex-Livingston player, QPR player, obviously going to come on now. So he's one that puts himself about. So he's actually perfect for this game because Morocco didn't seem to like the hard challenges.
Correct.
And he's one that will go in like a bat out of hell, And I hope, we can get something from it now.
And his physicality will definitely cause problems because we've seen, while it did break, it has been causing them problems. So somebody of his size could definitely be a good reference point.
Yeah, the question will be who's coming off now. I'm seeing Christie, obviously, yes. Yeah, Christie and G. Adams. So I think this is a good substitution. And also another Norwich City guy coming on, McLean.
Norwich. So Nigel Pearce, the referee's not doing a good game, and the referee for the US game against Australia is being criticized and looked at the decision in the game. So yeah, there's been a lot of so Dykes is coming on and McLean.
It's funny,
But you're right, Nigel.
Lyndon Dykes I know well, and he looks like a gangster. He's got the tattoos, and he actually said before this tournament he shaves his head deliberately to play with Scotland, so he looks more like a thug.
Yeah.
So that the opposition gets scared of him. And I
wow.
think it's a great thing, for him to do because I've seen him many times with a full head of hair, but now, he's got that bald out look, scares people. So maybe that's what we need.
Yeah, fashion tips by the Scottish team. Letting you know, hey, if you want to be more aggressive, shave your head. So let's see if these tactical changes. Now, they definitely would like, ideally, to head into that Brazil game with a draw. You don't want to go in with just, those 3 points alone. And I think it would be perfect. I think it's within their reach. We wouldn't be watching this game if we didn't think so, Coach James.
The referee, it's a foul, but everything seems to go the way of Morocco, I mean...
And these little decisions are, what controls the outcomes of the game, because that little call, it's not like outright cheating like a lot of people make it. Those calls are just shift the momentum a little bit to the other team. It makes a big difference.
But I always say sometimes too, it's a man's game,
Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes you have to, you get up quickly, play on, but I don't see that in this game. Every time they go down, go down like a sack of tatties, as they say, or a sack of potatoes, and that's a Scottish in me coming out there. Maybe I'm getting a little bit more upset.
Yes,
but,
it's coming out, James. Yeah. It's coming out. And that's okay. This is the time for it to happen. When else, But you're right. I think a lot of the physicality of the game, and it's interesting because Terry would be the right guy from that era. So Fireball is saying Pepe shaved his head even though he could grow a bit fro if he wanted. Yep, I remember that. I remember in Real Madrid he had a fro at one point. And, you know, it's interesting we're talking about a man's game as well, folks, because, you know, Terry Fennick is probably the right guy to talk about. He's from that era where anything goes. And, you know, I've seen over the years, you know, those 1v1 defenders, the inability, the protection of attacking players.
So we see here, that's exactly why Lyndon Dykes came on there. He held up the ball really well there, and that's what we're going to need now. But now we need to get the ball up. So we got the ball, we held it in, and not go back, which again we keep doing, you know? We need that outlet forward. We need somebody, McTominay obviously trying to open up, but they seem to have this three sitting there, which don't allow us to play through the centre, which is a good tactic from obviously the coach.
And for those of you who are just joining us, we're in the 73rd minute, Scotland.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that was I mean, I don't think there was any malice in it. I think both of them had the right to go. Bono getting hit there from Ben Gannon Doak. I actually thought he was going to get there first, but the goalkeeper doing well.
And he has that pace to do that. So, you know, no malintent. I think both players going for the ball.
Yeah, I mean,
I would say even Bono got a bit more out of him.
And actually, I think he holds back because he could quite easily, that could be a broken jaw or a broken nose there, you know.
Yeah, that's rough. That is rough.
But again, goalkeeper protecting himself a little bit there. But that's what you want, though. No disrespect. You want to see battles on the field like that, you know.
Correct.
You want to see players giving everything. And it inspires the rest of the team too, you know.
So, you know, this is the last 15-minute stretch of the game. So Scotland are going to have to make their moves now. And folks, if you're just joining us, we're approaching the 75th minute mark. It is 1-0. The game is still pretty much on a fine line in terms of the result. Anything could happen still. So let's see. Scotland going to want to get a draw in this game. Or maybe more, James. Maybe more.
Well, I'd take the draw. You know, like I said, the draw would send us through, you know. Even at this moment, we're still sitting top of the group, you know. I mean, even a little bit, I think, we'd be joint top with Morocco if it stays like this. So, I mean, it would make the group very interesting because, actually, I'll tell a lie. Sorry, Morocco drew the first game. They didn't lose it. So, yeah, Morocco would be top. But, you know, I think we can still get something out of this. There's enough time on the clock to do something. Oh, and a nice little battle there. And the referee knocking. I don't know if it's the language bar. He just doesn't seem to have any control there.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a lot of criticism after this game.
So 75 minutes on the clock. There obviously will be a good bit of added on time at the end because of their hydration breaks. You're virtually guaranteed 6 to 8 minutes added on in every game.
Yes.
But Scotland need to get that ball forward now. I think Henry's actually had a really good game at the back there, Henry. So for Scotland as McLean now driving forward. He had that tackle against Haiti that everybody didn't like, you know. But it's nice to see him back on the field. But again, now they've got that double up wide, Diaz on the ball, and he's going to look for he's going to go all the way back, actually, this time to Buadi, you know. But they look comfortable on the ball, and like I say, they seem to stretch themselves out to keep the ball and then attack with fluidity. So they're a very good team, Morocco. So that's the one thing. I mean, you know, no matter what happens in the rest of the game, this is a very good team we're playing against.
Correct. You know, like I said, folks, at the beginning of this stream, Morocco are one of my dark horses. I think they're a very good team, as James said. And I think they're managing this moment really well. This could be a problem. A through ball, Brahim Diaz, I think, cutting in, but well done.
Oh, good defense. Again, that man Hendry there, but I don't like that at the back, though. I think it was too... he got through too easily, and I don't think we're coming out quick enough. Like we obviously cleared our lines there, and we didn't get out quick enough. Robertson going to have to get there. He's got a man behind him. And actually, hopefully, the referee not giving a foul again. No, I don't understand. I mean, and it's late when he gives it. I mean, you can see why the Scottish players are getting frustrated.
Yes, a lot of these 50-50 calls as the game went along. McGinn doing well to get his body in between the player. So I'm seeing on the screen there is a tribute to...
yes, actually, 76th minute, this Donny Strathy was a Scotsman who came to America to see the World Cup, and he actually died before the opening game.
Oh, wow.
So a great moment there for the crowd, obviously, to give a round of applause to him and obviously send our best and our love to his family. So a sad moment, and, you know,
that is really sad.
He would have loved to have been there watching this game.
Yeah, maybe the Scottish person on the graphic thing used that to rally the troops a little bit.
Yeah, well, they seem to be knocking the ball now like Brazil, so...
Scotland, well done, taking on his man.
Doing well, yeah, and this is what we saw in the last game. He's got that about him.
Whip it in. Oh my. He still has the ball. Causing problems. Ooh, I like this guy, man.
They seem to crowd us out a lot. Like 4 players there crowding him out, and they can see how dangerous he is.
What an impressive player. Scouts are definitely going to be looking at this guy.
Well, he signed for Brighton for 40 million, so he's got that price tag on him again. It's a long ball. I think Bono, they're having a shot at goal there, really, you know? But Scotland now up the park, and this is what we want. We need to squeeze them in. We're virtually in the last 10 or 12 minutes, you know? Scotland need to utilise these opportunities. Now, McTominay on the ball. He's getting fouled again all over the place. Referee not doing anything. Ben Gannon, Doak, he's got 4 men in the box if he can find them. Let's see if they can put it in there. Again, we're slowing down a bit too much, though.
Yeah, slowing it down too much.
And they like that, like I mentioned before. We win back the break of the ball, but we need to play a bit faster when we get into that final third. But again, tackles flying in, you know?
Correct.
Everybody hitting us off the ball, and that's a really interesting tactic from them. Didn't expect it, but Scotland, they look like they're raising their game. Like I said, those kind of tackles will always inspire us.
Correct. And of course, a lot of attacks going on the right side as expected, taking on his men, causing problems.
The problem with that is I don't mind him taking on his men, but get the ball into the box, you know.
Correct.
And that's one of the problems I have with wingers these days. Get the ball in the box or have a shot, but create something. Don't just, you know, do nothing.
And this is where Morocco are dangerous, but Scotland doing well to sniff it out. And as you rightfully said earlier, James, they take that 2 or 3 seconds too long, allow Morocco to get back their shape.
Referee.
Come
Are you
on,
going to
ref.
let it go? Nah, man, come on. And there's a Scottish coming. I mean,
Yeah,
there's
that's
a
all right.
Trinidadian coming at me now.
That's
so.
how we love watch alongs. The real passion comes out. We don't have to hide anything. And I'm agreeing with you, James. That ref is annoying me. This ref is pissing me off, James. I can see why McGinn is angry. Like, the fact that he even had the nerve to gesture to the player, like, get up.
And there's actually an argument going on between the two of them. And actually, I see the lines on the side of the field try to tell the referee something. So I don't know.
Yeah, some of these calls, man. Some of these calls are definitely working. And
now I know the Haitian fans felt, you know, aggrieved in the last game, so they will say, "Well, we're just getting a bit of revenge here," you know.
True.
So, but we
Still.
we lost the momentum there. You know, we had a nice, you know, 2 or 3 minutes there keeping the ball, and now, you know, it swings back the other way. It's like a pendulum. So Diaz on the ball, back to Hakimi. I mean, they love that little triangle. You know, they've been doing it the whole game. You know, but again, when McGinn does that, and now he's saying, "Well, that's a," but then. You know, it's been going on the whole game.
Correct. There's a massive inconsistency with the calls. So Morocco trying their best to try to kind of...
The one thing is you're going to see a really epic ending, I feel. You know, the way it's going with the battles on the field.
Correct. Maybe a little fatigue getting in with McGinn there. You could see the legs a little bit heavy.
Even the commentator saying we just need one chance.
Yes. One chance, folks. One chance. And folks, I'm pretty sure you all know this, but let me know if you all know where we got that from.
So Rahimi there, the number 9, going to come on. He looks like he's ready for a boxing match or a UFC match with all that tape on his hand, you know.
He's
but,
ready.
actually have 2 subs going to come on. Also himself and the number, I think it is the number 7, or is it 77 there? Talby going to come on as well. So they look like one's a midfielder, obviously. So they're going to maybe go for it, you know? I mean,
Correct.
They're not putting on defensive. They're not shutting up shop, you know? And there's still gaps there for Scotland to exploit. It's a really good battle there between him and Ferguson.
Yes,
I have to say I enjoy it.
I was wondering if the ref was going to call there. That's why I paused for a second there, but good tackle. To Scotland. Let's see what they do.
This is what we keep doing. We keep playing a little bit intense and then slow down, you know? And that's what's killing us.
It gives Morocco the time to, you know...
And I see the player then go down under the challenge from McTominay. A chance for Robertson. McTominay now.
The right guy, come on!
Oh, penalty!
Ref!
Again, the referee
No,
doesn't call it.
man! He's not even looking. He's not even looking.
I don't understand why, you know, you're not seeing, VAR looking at it, not hearing it. And now a chance for Morocco to come down the other side of the field.
Oh, that was the right guy
We have to make sure we have numbers back now. Because I've seen 3, 4 players in the box. Good.
Well done. Chest back to the keeper there. Very composed. Come on, guys. Take advantage of the momentum. But come on. That should have been... Let's see a replay. Rush on the replays. Come on. We're not seeing any replays. Why are they not showing the replay? That's contentious. Makes you wonder. That will raise too much questions because, I mean... They should at least have a look.
What about everybody in the feed? What do you think about that one? Was it a penalty? Was it a call? Or are we just getting too overhyped with what's going on in the game?
James and I too biased right now. I don't know, but let us know because at least look at it. At least look at it and say, okay.
And this is the interesting thing with this World Cup. It used to be that they would show a thing at the top of the screen saying VAR's looking at something.
Yep.
We don't even know. So it could be that VAR looking at it and they've looked and it's not, you know. Even to know these things as a fan would be a good thing, you know. Scotland trying a nice little ball there. McTominay now. Lyndon Dykes. And he's went too far wide.
A bit of a heavy touch there.
Yeah. But again, we're starting to create something. The wheels are starting to go.
Let's see. Let's
see
take a
here
look
at that
here.
replay.
McTominay. I don't know, man. That looks... Even the commentators are saying... Let's see.
I think that's a touch there before it.
Yep. Even the commentators that we're looking at right now are saying the same thing, folks. So it's not just us. McTominay is like, what is going on here? Nigel Pierre, that was a penalty. Yeah, correct vote in the chat. Let's have a vote.
But again, some of the Haitian fans again will say, you know, maybe that's, you know.
Even the Haitian fans, let us know.
There's that goal there. It was a wonderful finish by the centre forward who, Sabari, who's coming off. Interestingly, they're taking Diaz off and I'm trying to remember, El Anoui, who's had a pretty good game. Actually, sorry, no, it was the other one, El Canus on the other side. So they're making a few changes there. This number 7 looks like he has something. You can see in a player, usually when they come on, they walk with a bit of swagger. He looks like he's going to be a player. And a Scottish player there again, getting a bad challenge.
This ref, folks in the chat as well, you know, even the Haitian fans as well, everybody, let us know what you think. Was that a pen against McTominay? Timmy Tunok says no touch. So good, let's hear all your opinions. We want to hear how different people see it.
Well done there by our centre forward there who came on, which is see, I'm getting so caught up, Lyndon Dykes.
Yes, that's all right. You could just
so much passion now that I want to see us create something that I'm forgetting. Robertson on the ball. We need to get that ball forward. You know, just under 6 minutes of regulation time. There will be another 6 or 7 minutes of time. There will be chances as well. Scotland need to get the ball into that box. Even if we shift it round to the other side. And that's a nice ball there. Chance now for Scotland.
Oh, man!
Why did he go for the inside? He should have fired that across, I feel. You know,
yes.
It looks like it's going to be a corner, but again, chances cropping up. McTominay there.
Oh, the defender
I think it's
got
a touch. Yeah, I think that's going across the face of the goal. Good touch, yeah, but
come on, McGinn.
Yeah, we need to get some good balls in. Somebody
Don't tell McGinn. It was a pin. We
have some referees in the chat there.
Me and Mim won. That's an interesting name.
Everybody up now for this one. This one has to be a good ball from McGinn. Come on, McGinn.
Come on, McGinn. Good delivery. McTominay. Oh my gosh.
Lyndon Dykes there saying he's getting a push again. You know, it seems to be any time within that penalty box. You know. Oh, it's his own player actually. It's actually McTominay doing a Ronaldo tactic there. Sometimes we see that a lot. You know.
Oh my God! Come on, Scotland! I want this result, man. I want this result.
Just under 5 minutes to go in the second half. A little bit will be added on, like I said.
Yes. Timmy Tunok. Why so many short corners in this World Cup?
I don't know. I know they're trying to change your point of attack, but I find sometimes you need to load the box and put it in there. Now another opportunity for Scotland. So you can see that Morocco really under the cosh. McTominay getting it there and just losing out the second touch. We need to keep going. We need to keep that momentum.
Come on, guys. 4 minutes to go in Boston. Of course, Morocco is going to rely on, hey, let's get a counter-attack, but Scotland doing a pretty good job. But
yeah, the game opened up a lot there. You can see, I mean, obviously, you gain 60 yards, and this is when you have to you have to attack them, when they have players up the field, when there's gaps. Again, a little push off the ball.
Quick keeper, release that ball. And see, this is where the ball slows down a bit. It could get Morocco to get back into their shape. Well done.
Great. Another slip there, but McGinn does well. It's going to be a push. I can see it again. You wait and see. You're going to get into that area. Next
good cross. Come on.
And he took his own player out there. McTominay there trying the bicycle kick that everybody spoke about.
Getting players good for. Yeah, correct. You know, they have to do it now or never. This now result would be so massive for Scotland, folks. So massive. In the chat, let us know what you're thinking, folks. We're seeing a game here, folks. This World Cup is exciting, but come on.
Morocco, I mean, it's a nice ball through. Gun will come.
Well done, Gun.
We need a gun, though. We need somebody to fire.
Yes, yeah, we do.
So
we need to shoot.
He should be at the other end of the field, you know? At the moment, we're kind of shooting blanks.
Yes, and stop running into each other, man. Come on. McTominay getting more involved.
I feel something coming, you know. But the problem is when you're in this moment in the game, you need to take advantage of it, and you need to make sure you're solid at the back. Ben Gannon, Doak again on the ball, but we keep going back, you know.
Let's see the Napoli McTominay step up and the rest of the players.
Henry open again there, use him.
Yeah, now at this point, Scotland's going to have to take more chances.
And I see
Take
we've
some more
thrown,
risks.
yeah, they've only got one back now, so this is an acute time in the game. We need to create something now.
Well done. Can you get it in?
Oh,
Hey, a problem here? Oh my
and
goodness!
it just needed a little bit more to get over Bono there.
And it's the right guy,
And
McTominay.
Bono getting cramped now, you know? He's been singing too much.
Yeah, come on, Bono. Bono, the other Bono, not
Actually,
from YouTube.
I know how he feels as a goalkeeper. Those ones when you have to stretch too high.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, it's obviously it's a stadium without the roof on, so the temperature will be a little hot, I'd imagine, you know? And
Oh,
it just took a
wow.
little break off, you know? He didn't get a full kick on it there, and Bono making the save.
The Scot named Scott will score soon.
Well, let's hope.
I would love that.
Come on, McTominay, come on. They call him our Superman, so we'll see.
Let's see that
You know,
Napoli
America
form.
have their Captain America. Well, we need Scott McTominay or McGinn or Robertson to step up now.
Bono milking this as much as he
Yeah.
can.
And this one. I actually don't know what he was trying to...
Oh, and they
I
both
think
missed
it
it.
was a player underneath him that got caught that made his foot go up. I don't know.
Oh, he fell really hard there. Oh, come on, guys. So do you think, James, they should have pressed and maybe
this
it's a
is
competition
an
after?
interesting one. They're going to bring on Ross Stewart, it looks like, up top. And actually, Ralston coming on now.
So Patterson's coming
went
off.
Okay.
Ralston coming on.
The one thing I would say about Steve Clark, he's using everybody in his squad because, I mean, we're into the second game and I would say 90% of the squad's played, which is interesting. We've seen another substitution there from Morocco, looking like El Maroui, they coming on. Ferguson there. I like this. I like the physical battle from Ferguson, but the referee giving the throw in there. Yeah, I like that.
Oh. Chris Figuera, McTominay has to pass one of those Scotland to score. Yeah, I was thinking maybe if he just poked that.
The problem is I'm looking at the clock now, 89 minutes on it now. I mean, there will be obviously a good bit added time, but this could get away from us.
So Chris is saying he's making intelligent runs but wants to do it alone. So welcome, Chris. You know, what a game, folks, especially for James. You know, show some love, folks. I see the viewers are picking up as well. What an ending to this game, folks. Morocco is no joke, and Scotland, I think, are making a real game of this. And, you know, can they snatch it, folks? Chat, let us know what you think.
The interesting thing is, if you were to ask the Scottish coach, let's be honest, before the tournament, you get a 1-0 defeat if it stays that way to Morocco. With the quality you know on the field, you would probably say, well, it would be a good fight for the team, you know.
Yes.
So I mean, but I do believe there's still going to be another moment in the game that we get, you know, to try and carve out something.
So we have 6 minutes of extra time.
I thought there'd be more than that, to be fair.
I thought so too. Well, good tackle there, but this is not where Scotland wants to be right now. So do you think, James, maybe they should have switched on this maybe 5 minutes earlier? Or do you think they just were being careful?
I think it was a tactical, you know. I mean, McGinn scenes went off, which is interesting for Stewart. So now Stewart now and McTominay going to go. I think it was tactical from the beginning, as I was saying. Sorry, I think they realised the quality difference. So
Kimmy Cast skated in for the end. Welcome, Kimmy, as well. You're seeing a great game here, folks. A lot of people thought Morocco was going to come away with this with a big victory, but Scotland are making a game from this. Can they snatch it? Kimmy, let me know where you're from.
We need to get the ball back up there.
Kimmy Kath, I guess. Kathleen, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, Morocco going to milk every second. Bono going to let that, you know, go or take it as long as he can before he picks this up. But, you know, 5 minutes to go. We need to create a chance or two, and we need somebody to be brave. We need Stewart just came on. We need McTominay to be brave. One of them to just go up and take this chance.
Or maybe some long range thunderbolt just to catch Morocco off guard. Maybe perhaps they're trying to walk it in too much.
And that's the dangerous one, though. That ball in there we saw in the first half, right in behind the fullbacks, is dangerous. You know, Scotland need to make sure they're covered in the centre. And these two new players that came on from Morocco look like they have a lot of energy too. Did well there, Ferguson there to win it back.
Not bad
well
at
done,
all.
Sorry, McLean did really well there. McTominay using his strength, really good there, but it's going to go all the way over to, I think, Ben Gannon Doak. They need to utilise these opportunities now. Ralston now on the ball.
That little second of speed extra that they need.
The problem is we have the width now. We just need to, and that's a bad pass. And that's the kind of moment in the game they switch off in that moment. And now there's an opportunity. I think they've got 3 players there on the outside.
Oh no! Stay on your feet. Stay on your feet, guys. They're going to cut back. Oh, good save.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Ah,
That
boy.
was one of those moments. But then again, that's just that moment there that we switch off. And that's at number 7 I told you. Oh, it's
all
a
this started
fantastic save,
from
you know.
one bad
Referee
pass.
never gave it, but take the hit, yes. But again, it's game's so stretched now. The midfield, you know, a little high, and they're not winning that ball. We need to get it back. 2.5, maybe 3 minutes to go. We need to create a chance.
3 minutes down, 3 to play in stoppage time.
Come on, all right, good.
Well done from Robertson there. I have to say, McTominay's putting a lot of work. You know, he's maybe not got the reward he's looking for, but the players have, you know, put in a hard shift in that temperature out there.
Yeah, he has been all over the pitch.
It's a long direct ball across to Robertson.
Nice forcing an error.
Oh, it's
Foul.
Got to be a
Is that
free
a foul, ref? Ref, that should have been at least a foul.
Again,
you are
he's never
ridiculous,
given
ref.
Scott. I mean, I don't know what to say with this referee. He's not give us one call in that area, and another one there, referee.
This ref is
And
ridiculous.
this is
man.
where somebody goes and does attack. I mean,
Look at the coach, he's furious, and I can understand why. And the thing is,
I don't know if I'd be so composed now. You know,
Yeah,
I mean,
I probably would have
3
gotten a
minutes to
card
go,
already.
and the referee giving us nothing.
throughout the entire game, we've seen this. Look at this here. We're getting a replay.
Maybe that one not so much, but the one just before it was the one that got me.
So I'm kind of, you know, it's good that, you know, Morocco just gave away the ball like that. It gives Scotland a little bit of hope. There's a couple, 2 minutes left, folks. Scotland are...
We need to go direct, yeah.
If they can hold on here with the 3 points, I think they're going to get the 3 points against Haiti as well.
I'm seeing...
Tough neighbourhood not calling the clear fouls. Yeah.
Correct. Me and Dim won. Chris Figuera, ref is having a stinker. Correct. He is.
The sad thing with the referee, you can't change anything after the game, you know, and that's the sad reality. You know, they have a bad game, but that's football, you know. But
It's not like it's one call, James. It's like a series
no, it's
of
been a
calls.
series of calls. Yeah, Scotland need to get the ball forward though. 1.5 minutes to go. We need somebody to be brave now.
Come on. Physicality of McTominay if you could get that
Yes,
out wide.
McTominay. Again, a free kick. No,
Ref is insane. Ref, you are insane. McTominay is furious, and I can understand exactly why he's like that. That is absolutely a free kick on top of the box there. Come on, keep him wide. He's going to try to... Oof. That call...
I'll be honest. If I was Steve Clark on the line, I would be absolutely bawling at the referee now. I'd be
Yeah.
furious. You know, I mean, again,
Ballistic.
another one. And it's taking away time from the game. You know, I mean.
Edwin Fernandez Zamparo.
I know
Paulo.
Edwin, good friend of mine. Actually, he's our man that when we were in Dominican Republic with the national team.
Oh, really?
He was our liaison, so it's good to hear from you.
What's up, Edwin?
Yeah, good to see you, my friend. Scotland got a chance now to put the ball forward. The last probably 2 or 3 minutes. Chance. Oh!
Whoa! Gosh!
Actually, that's going to be a corner, though, but that was a moment there. It could have went anywhere. So everybody has to... I'll be honest, I sent a gun up, you know, let him see if he can shoot one into the goal.
Now it's all or nothing, folks. It's all or nothing.
It's
all or
probably
nothing.
been the key moment in the game, and it was not our own player that hit the shot.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
So this is a huge moment. I mean, literally seconds counting away. We're into the 6th minute already, so this is the last chance. It has to be a good ball from Ferguson.
Come on, guys.
Let's see.
Come on, guys. Get that on.
This would really seal it if we were to get it now. It's a great ball in, and a push there again. Referee not seen nothing, and the referee going to blow that whistle. I'll be honest, yeah, he's going to.
Yeah, I think this may be the end here. Ref is looking at something. I don't know what, because he overlooked at a lot. You know, he looks like he's just ignoring.
You know, but the funny
Scotland
thing
player.
is, he looks like he's every time Robertson speaks to him, he's basically saying, whatever. You
Yeah,
know,
I know,
that
he
kinda-
looks like he's
I don't
very
like that.
dismissive.
I mean, as I say, Morocco probably the better team on the day, but I don't like some of the calls from the referee. It was close. I was worried at the start when he scored. I mean, let's be honest, we went 88 minutes
Yes.
of the game without conceding, you know. I mean, heavily disappointed, but
I'm
that's how it
disappointed
goes
as well.
that sometimes, you know.
Because I think, you know, and I mean, I can see this as a neutral. I think Moroccan fans should be concerned about this performance. Because Scotland, I think, are unlucky in this game. I think they did really well to manage a team like Morocco, and I think they could take a lot of positives from this game going into the Brazil game. It's going to be tough.
My concern is now, though, I mean, you're going to have to beat Brazil in your last game.
I know.
I mean, the interesting thing will be is if Brazil win tonight against Haiti, they're also through, you know?
Yes.
So it means that, I mean, obviously you want to win the group, so they will come out big, but it may have a change in the game if they don't win against Haiti, which, you know, I'm not sure that it could happen.
Correct.
It will mean they're going to come all guns blazing. So it could have a justification in the game, but 1-0, I am disappointed, but that's how it goes sometimes.
I know. And the thing is, you know, it's almost, I mean, this is a very extreme example I'm going to use. You know, if they lost like maybe 4-0, you know, we probably could have conceded like at least 20 minutes ago. Okay,
Yeah.
but the fact that it was so close, it was on a fine line. There were half chances created in the end there. You know, like I asked you this before. I'm going to ask again. Do you think maybe they should have kicked in that attack maybe 5 minutes before and just go for broke? Or you think they did
I
it at the
agree
right
with
time?
what you're saying, but what I would say is I always said this from the start. We don't have the bench that other teams have. You know,
True,
for example, like the guys coming onto the field, you know, like Ross Stewart, good players, don't get me wrong, but they probably scored 8 or 9 goals at their teams, you know? They're not coming on with 20-goal seasons, 30-goal seasons like other countries have, you know? So sometimes as the coach, you're having to take a gamble on a player that may or may not score, you know? And that's the problem, you know? So again, they'll give you the fight. Like we saw Lyndon Dykes come on. I love to see Lyndon playing, but I don't think his goal percentage is, you know, great for a striker.
Yeah.
But he puts himself about, and we kind of needed that today. But I'm think Scotland could match up to Brazil. I don't know. It depends which Brazil shows up, you know, because we've seen different Brazils, you know, through the years. We know obviously Ancelotti has them playing a little bit more organised at the back. But we will see. We will see.
Yeah, I think Scotland could take a lot of positives coming out of this game. I was genuinely impressed. I follow Morocco a lot, and they're a very dynamic, exciting team. And, you know, Scotland coming into this tournament, you know, if you looked at the group stage, you were thinking, okay, wow, Morocco is probably going to, you know, on paper, make mincemeat. And it looked that way at the beginning with that first goal. And, you know, kudos to Scotland. I know it's no real consolation because, you know, at the end they didn't get the 3 points. But I think they could take a lot of positives heading into this Brazil game and play without fear, knowing that, hey, guys, we could contain a very dynamic attacking team. They have to handle guys like Vinicius. You know, he's sort of like Hakimi and the attacking players as well. So, Miriam, congratulations, Morocco. Sorry for Scotland. God bless you all. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, Miriam, I know that's your team, and congratulations to you. You know, so we appreciate that, and you know, all's fair in football. You know, but yeah, the beauty of the group is we still go into the Brazil game with something to play for. You know, if we had went into this last game and we hadn't, you know, beaten Haiti in the first game,
Correct.
it would be like, well, okay, we're going into the last game. You know. There's nothing there. But now, I mean, we could still qualify with the 3 points.
Yes, correct.
So it
And,
depends on other groups, you know. And the good thing is in this game too, we didn't concede many goals. So actually we have a goal difference of 0.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as if we got pummeled and we could say, well, we're minus 5 points, so minus 5 goals, sorry. So yes, we have 3 points, but we don't have that. So there's a chance that we could still go through, you know?
Yes. And sometimes one chance is all you need, folks.
Yeah.
And as it stands in the group here, of course, Morocco, you know, they drew the first game, so they're on 4 points. Scotland is on 3, Brazil on 1, which is interesting. James, who knows? What if, let's say, Haiti gets a draw against Brazil?
I think that would be a bad... No, but the funny thing is, that would be a bad result for Scotland. You know why? Because I think then Brazil would come out all guns. So yes, I can understand what you're saying, but I think that would turn that last game into a cup final, which I don't know if on Brazil's best day we can compete with them. Let's be honest, you know?
Yes.
I think if the Brazil shows up that played against Morocco, I think we can get something out of the game.
Yes.
But if everybody starts ticking, so if, let's say, in this next game, you start to see the flair, the samba passion, you know, they have, well, but so I think the best thing for us would be for Brazil to beat Haiti comfortably, and then we go into that last game.
Yes, because you know, like folks, you know, I follow South American football a lot, and I can tell you this: Timmy 2 knocks, I will think you all will still get the 3rd place. You know, I think so too. I think, you know, observing Brazil over the last couple years, even though Ancelotti's in there, and if you look at the Morocco game, there's a lot of things. Of course, who knows when Brazil could turn it on, but they haven't done so for a while. They don't play that Brazilian football that they used to. They rely heavily on the counter-attack. You know, Ancelotti's going to play that football, and I think that may work in Scotland's favour, because Morocco is a bit more imposing in their game. They will attack a bit more. Brazil will allow you a little bit of leeway to play from the back, maybe get into the middle area and then try to release Vinicius. And that's where Scotland's going to have to watch out for. And, we'll do a match preview for that as well. So, folks, let us know what you think about the game. James and I will chat for a couple of minutes. Of course, we loved it before and after. We love that you're supporting the live streams. And everybody in the live chat, we've had people from all over Dominican Republic, Qatar, UK, around the Caribbean, the US. Miriam, I think Miriam is, I think she said she's staying in Morocco right now, I believe. I'm not mistaken. So all these people in there, let us know. And of course, folks, while you're in the chat right now, be sure to like and subscribe. Take a moment to subscribe. It really helps the channel. Check us out on all our socials that you can see on the graphic here. When you do that, you automatically qualify for a chance to win a prize. And we will send it wherever you all are. And then we have the EXTV merch store as well. You could check out gear. It's delivered globally. So if you want to show support. So
I was just checking some of my WhatsApps there, and some obviously people messaging me and saying, some of them saying Scotland didn't really play it and all this kind of thing. But I would say I think people don't understand football, in the sense that, obviously a big nation, a country that got to the semi-finals of the World Cup last year, last time, to be able to, 1-0, we created chances. We put them under the cosh there at the end. So I think it's an unfair thing to say, especially, with the way the game went. And I also think that, there's no... yes, England, probably Argentina, but there's a lot of countries that have not really showed up the way we thought recently, in this World Cup yet, So, like I said before the World Cup, if you'd have told me we lose 1-0 to Morocco, I would have probably said, we would take it, Obviously, you want points, especially after winning the first game against Haiti, So, we're still in it. We still have a chance. We're not playing great football, I'll be honest, right now. Not the kind of football we played to get us there. But ultimately, we're playing against higher level opposition. That's what people need to remember, As we see, and obviously that next game coming up, Brazil and Haiti will be crucial, to see what happens in that game. But you never know. Haiti will have fire in their bellies.
Yes.
They will want to prove people wrong that, they were wronged in that last game. So you never know what they're going to bring.
Correct. I'm not writing off Haiti at all. They are a tricky team. They're pacey. And, just heading into the last game, it makes things very interesting, folks. Very interesting. I'm excited to see how this goes. And of course, we'll be having a watch along for that as well. Brazil versus Scotland. What a game. Folks, I think you'll know who I'll be supporting.
And make sure for that one, everybody gets their t-shirts from GR Designs. You spoke about that. He's doing, obviously, as I say, Brazil shirts, Argentina shirts, Scotland shirts if you want. You can check them out on their social media, Facebook and Instagram, GR Designs. And as I say, it's a great price as well. I think it's $160 he's doing for the World Cup, a special price. So, correct. And also, hopefully tomorrow we'll be on the Avenue tomorrow, Yes. So you'll be able to catch us there. There'll be two good games, I think. Tomorrow we have Sweden are playing against Holland, which will be a very nice game. And then Germany play, I can't remember who Germany play in the second game, but two mouth-watering ties. I know it's a game that I was looking forward to because I remember looking, but it'll be interesting to see, will Holland show up, because they look decent in one of the friendly matches I watched before. They promise so much, so will they be able to beat over a Swedish team that have looked really good?
So tomorrow it's Germany, Cote d'Ivoire, Ecuador, Curacao.
That'll be an interesting game.
And Netherlands, Sweden. So those are the three big ones. And of course, coming up next is Brazil. I'm seeing Kyle say stuff. I felt this World Cup there has been many penalty or physical stuff that the referee just don't care. I don't know how I feel about this new VAR system. It's certainly interesting. And you're not the only one to say that, Kyle. Welcome, by the way, and let us know where you're from. I think a lot of the calls have been strange. A lot of the non-calls, I should say, have been strange, where they just didn't even have a look. I'm genuinely confused, just as you are, Kyle, how this works, because I've seen in this game, let's take a look at this game, not just because James is here, there was tremendous amounts of inconsistency with the ref calls. Tremendous. I'm seeing TM Toys. I'm from Scotland. How is that not a penalty? I agree, TM. Welcome, TM Toy 17. Both James and I think it's a penalty, or at least it should have been looked at.
And before the end of the stream, I'd love to know where that name comes from as well. So
TM
let
Toys,
us know. But yeah, you're right. It's great to get the feedback on the stream, what everybody thinks as well. But I don't want to sound biased as a Scotsman, but to me, I could understand if, the calls are 50-50. But it looked to me as if many of the calls went in Morocco's favour. Now, granted, and I have no problem saying this, technically, Morocco are a better team than us.
Yes.
We know this, but I think some of those calls would even up the playing field. As I say, to me, two of them were close calls, one of them outside the box as well.
Yes.
And that's the moments you need in a game. And we've seen it from big teams, whether it's Argentina, Brazil, Portugal, Spain, you get a free kick on the edge of the box and you put it in the top corner, and that's what makes the difference between you winning something. So I'm maybe harping on a bit about it, but
Man, that's fine.
I believe that, there was a little bit of inconsistencies from the referee today.
Correct. I totally agree with everything you're saying. There was even a moment in the first half, there were a series of fouls, a series of them, like maybe 2 or 3 or 4. And I noticed, because, I pay attention to these things, the ref, his peripherals, he looked a little bit bamboozled. If they show that ref cam, he didn't look, because there's referee training, I'm not a ref, but I've worked in and around people like that. And it seemed as if that moment in the game, he got lost, because he didn't see a lot of things. And then also equally concerning, the lack of, coordination. I don't know if there's new rules now or something that we don't know about. Harrison Wells, if you Argentina, you would get those calls. I don't know, maybe sometimes. I can understand why people say that. But
No, but it's a fair point, because I always believe too, and this is going to sound harsh, but when you have a global superstar on your team, and I'm not necessarily talking about Messi, because sometimes Portugal get calls with Ronaldo, sometimes Neymar would get calls when he doesn't get. I believe when you have a player of that caliber, sometimes the referees feel like, they give you that little extra consideration.
correct.
And if you think about it, I suppose to an extent, Morocco do have some of those players.
Yes.
Hakimi
yes.
and these guys are multi-million-dollar players playing with big teams, so maybe,
So Kyle says stuff from London here. Welcome, guys. And of course, while you're in here, be sure to show us some love by subscribing and, following our socials to keep us. We want to get to the 10,000 mark, and we're connecting with people all over, from Scotland, from London, from Tokyo. There was a guy on a train. Isn't that insane, the technology where we are? Harrison Wells, Portugal as well, get big calls. What I would say to that, TM Toys, bro, my Moroccan Fred said it's a pen. Look, we all agree. I think we all agree. Chat, let's have a chat right now and let us know, everybody else who's in here, what do you think, if it was a penalty or not? I think all of us are unanimously saying it should have been a pen. And it's not, and that'll be a discussion for our show when James and I talk about these things.
Well, the funny thing, I was just going to say, it makes the show more interesting, because, if none of these things happen in the game and everything goes perfect, we have nothing to talk about. Okay, great goal, some great movement, and that's it. But now, it's like, we spoke about the Argentina game the other day. There was so much brilliance in the game when what Messi did scoring the goals, and then we spoke about obviously the negative with that tackle.
With the red card, yeah.
Every game has those moments in it, and football. It's from a coaching perspective, game is about those moments. What do you do in those moments? The hard moments when your back's against the wall. So it's somebody saying there. I like it when the referee at least go, and this is a point. They have VAR. Why not use VAR? Why not consult? Even if you go to VAR and they say no, it wasn't. Tell us you did that, because then it makes us feel like, okay, they checked it.
Yep.
We're not going crazy,
And that's Kyle says stuff. Just to read what he was saying, I do like when the referee at least go and check the replay and then make the final decision. Some referees just let it go, and it really makes my heart boil. We were annoyed as well, Kyle. We saw moments where he would just dismiss McGinn and all these other guys and not pay attention, get lost. And that annoyed me, and I can understand if you're supporting Scotland.
But what I don't understand is they'll show us when an offside is offside or onside.
Yes.
They'll go and show you the line. So I don't understand why they can't. One of the things, I have to be honest, I was really impressed with BBC, because I watched a lot of the games on BBC.
Yeah.
They bring in Miss Winkle, I think her name is. She's the referee analyst.
Right.
She will come in and tell us, well, I've watched it back, and according to the rules, it should be a penalty and the referee made the right call. They should have one of them on every station, you know?
Yes.
And also, the other thing with these World Cups, the good thing about it is the referees are assessed. So, I know from my time, working with FIFA and different things, they will check the referees. They will say that this guy had a good game or a bad game. They'll go look over his decisions, and then they'll decide what category he's in for the next competition.
Correct.
So, in some respects, the referee, if he's making bad calls, is only shooting himself in the foot,
Yes. And, throughout history, we've seen these calls. I could tell you as somebody who's from Trinidad and Tobago, we all know that England game, Brent Sancho, Peter Crouch. Trinidad were going toe-to-toe with England. In fact, it looked like we were going to get a memorable draw. And that call, this was pre-VAR, so they have an excuse.
Yeah.
But you always tend to see that they always give the bigger nations that little edge, or at least the nations that have a bigger chance. It's a bit unfair. It's like this unspoken, annoying rule. And then also reputations. I'll use an example. somebody like Patrick Vieira, for those of you who remember him, if you go far back, he did have a reputation. Even when it was unfair at times, he would get some straight reds because it's Patrick Vieira and he was known as being a physical player. And I'm not an Arsenal fan.
It reminds me of Veron as well. Veron used to
yeah?
get a lot of reds because of just everybody thought he was a boisterous player, you know?
Yes, and I think, by his appearance, Veron looked like, a really aggressive gangster guy with, the old shaved head, and I think there's all these factors that come into play in the World Cup. And it definitely makes or breaks teams. And it's not, I don't think it's fair, but I think it's something we've seen over the years. And I don't think it's really improved. And, even before the World Cup, there was controversies with red cards before in the World. Even Ronaldo, I think in one of the qualifiers, they rescinded the red card and a lot of people got mad about that. And, so it's a lot of inconsistencies.
The other thing I find interesting, a lot of the new rules they've brought in, some of them they're obviously keeping to the line and they're doing them properly or they're managing them properly. But other things, like, for example, I seen with some moments of the game, they're counting the 5 seconds for the throw-in, and then others are just letting it go, and then with the goalkeeper gets it, some they're doing it, some they're not. And then even I watched one of the games yesterday, and the players are not supposed to cover their mouth and speak, But I've seen players doing it, and it's supposed to be a direct red card. But so they're holding fast to some of the rules and not others. And again, so what's the point of bringing those rules? I don't understand that.
I remember even, when they had the goal, how much seconds it was originally. I know it's less now. Kyle says stuff at TM Toys, watching a pub, one guy is Moroccan, and he was like, yeah, that should have been a penalty. Or at least watch a replay. I still think Scottish played well. Second, yeah, I agree. I know James is being a little bit modest, but I think with all things considered, the stature of Morocco, the types of players they have, the way they play football, I've been watching them in the AFCON in the last couple of years at youth level and senior level. I think Scotland could leave this game with their head held high, and also I would even say even a little bit disappointed that they probably couldn't have snapped something from this game. And I think, with the officiating and all that, they can go into this Brazil game with some confidence. Yes, it's Brazil. I would even say, as somebody who looks at South American football, they could even fancy their chances to probably get a draw, maybe snap something.
One of the things I think we'd have to do, we saw Ben Gannon don't come on there.
Yeah.
He has to start. I mean, the first game he was great. I thought when he came on, the only thing, like I said, sometimes he has to cross the ball in a little quicker.
Yes.
But he has the ability to get past a player, and we don't have a lot of that in those wide areas. So I hope Steve Clarke decides, you know what, let us go for it. Mm-hmm. Let us not sit back, because, chances are he may go the same way against Brazil.
Yeah.
Go a little defensive for the first 25, 30 minutes and then open up. But we went defensive and we got a goal in 2 minutes. So, we'll see.
So Beef Bake 6110, what a name. It's always best to bring on a right back when you need a goal. Steve Clarke logic. Guy needs sacked immediately.
Yeah, I agree with that. I found it. I don't know why he brought on Ralston at that time. Ralston, like I said, it's great to see everybody getting a game. But at that point, I would be throwing on as many offensive players as possible,
Yep.
So I agree with that statement, yeah. And there was other players on the bench that he could have brought on. So unless Patterson was struggling, then this is the one thing to remember. We don't know what players will say. We don't know the tactical reasons. So sometimes there is reasons, but yes. I agree totally that that could be. So, this stadium for the next game looks exactly like the first game.
Oh yeah, it does. Beef Bake, your name just made me really hungry. I'm starving. I want to eat. You just activated I just thought about steak immediately when I saw your name. So everybody in the chat as well, I'd love for you guys to take a moment wherever you are on the planet. Let us know where you're from. And also be sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel, and we're connecting globally. I know we're from Trinidad and Tobago, the small island in the Caribbean, and it's amazing to have everybody here doing this and have these discussions. And even if you missed the live stream, you could drop comments in the comment section as well. You could follow us on EXTV Media. You could follow us on all these socials. We will be sending giveaways and things like that. So Beefcake, you made me hungry.
Beef cakes. I don't know what you're thinking about. But...
Beefy bake, sorry. My God, you see, my hunger is making me say stupid stuff, James. So Beefy Bake 6110. I am hungry now.
I'll tell you one thing. I just saw a glimpse there of the group table.
You're right.
What would be so interesting is if Haiti somehow were able to get a result against Brazil, it would mean that everybody still has a chance to go through.
Yes.
Which is bizarre. Again, I don't think that'll happen. Like I say, no disrespect, but it would be unbelievable,
Yes, folks. And, of course, we're seeing the lineups here. We're probably going to wrap this up, But let us know what other watch-alongs you'd like us to do. And there's people all over the planet as well. You could let us know your thoughts as well in the live chat as well. And, of course, I saw Kyle just subscribed. So we appreciate that, Kyle. Welcome. Kyle says stuff.
And the one thing I was just going to say there, I mean, sorry to butt in you,
Yeah,
Andre.
yeah.
Make sure you're subscribing, but also every day we're having shows. So tune in, whether you watch it right on as we're live or whether you watch it back. You know, we love to have you all here. So make sure you do that because it would not be the same without you all. Because you all made this show tonight fantastic.
Correct. Exactly what James said. This completely motivates us to continue. You know, James and I, we do work in football and do different things, but to fully engage with you guys all over the planet and enjoy the fun factor that is the World Cup, and we could talk about the bad decisions, the good ones, who you all are supporting, and connecting on a global scale is exciting for us, and making friends with everybody as well. And you know, who knows, James and I may probably end up in the States somehow. Who knows? We'll just
Yeah, well, there's one chance, maybe one chance that we can get there.
One
You know,
chance.
I would love to go, and I mean the problem is getting tickets, obviously. But so if anybody has tickets out there, let us know. But no, there's a good chance we could end up there for at least one of the games at the end.
Correct. So I'm seeing David B5C3U. OHI.
It says Okai.
Okai,
You
okay.
scaffed your money up the wall. Scotland are a disgrace.
Oh.
Well, David, I don't know who that is. I don't know why you would say that, but it's nice to hear some of the Scottish accent. Good night, everyone. Harrison, if you enjoyed the stream, yes, thank you so much as well. So it'd be interesting to know, you know, David, what made you think that? Let us know.
Yes, David. We'd love to hear your thoughts on where you're from. And folks, everybody in the live chat, we are confirmed we're going to do an Argentina watch along because I support Argentina. But also, Terry will be returning for the England game, former 1986 England international. He brought his 86 jersey signed by the English players against when they played against Maradona, which is insane. You know, that's somebody like me who couldn't even understand what was going on, and having those types of items in here, and you know, the nostalgia. So he'll be here when England plays their next game, of course the Argentina game. James will be back as well, and if there's other games as well you all want us to do watch alongs as well, because we do our daily wrap-ups as well, and plus James and I will be going around the country and having some interviews with fans and so on all over the island. Full engagement. Also, we'll be getting our jerseys as well. And, you know, just so much content, folks. And then we have our short form content. I'll also be playing some EAFC as well, the FIFA update as well, which is ironic because FIFA and EAFC don't get along. So, you know, there's lots of content. So I really appreciate Harrison, David, Beefy Bake. Wow, every time I say that, I get more and more hungry. Kyle, TM Toys, so many people today. And you guys made the last Scottish stream a success. And we're going to end things off by saying, James and I have set a goal. We want to get to that 10,000 subscriber mark. We want to show that, hey, two guys in Trinidad and Tobago can defy the odds and connect and get to that 10,000 mark. We already passed the 3,000 mark. So we want to aim. We were going modest, but you know, we're going to go crazy. We're going to go for that 5,000.
I said the last time, invite your brother, your sister, your uncle, your auntie, your cousin, your dog, whatever it is. You know, and even, you know, we're seeing people come from different parts of the world. Invite your friends, you know. I know for a fact some of you have 20,000, 30,000 followers on Instagram and all these things.
Yes.
Invite them because, you know, it makes it fun, it makes it enjoyable. And also it gives you all a voice too because, like we said, there's prizes to be won. There's opportunities to discuss the game. And also even tell us a bit about yourself because all these things make it interesting. There's one more game for Scotland. There's a lot more games to come. Like tomorrow will be a really exciting game. Get to speak to some of the fans, you know, that on the Avenue. So if you're on the Avenue tomorrow in Trinidad, obviously look out for us, you know. We'll be there. I will not have my kilt on tomorrow, but, you know, we'll be there. Talk to us, do a little interview, and enjoy some of the games.
Yes. So we'll read this one last comment before we go. Beefy Bake 6110. Disgrace is a bit heavy. Some brilliant Scottish players, but we're bringing on defenders when we needed goals. We didn't start Gannon Doak. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Doak, yeah.
Doak. Formation was too defensive. Steve Clark's potato bread. Why are y'all only saying food stuff? You're just getting me. Guys, I am so hungry and you're saying beef. Beefy Bake. You know what you're doing. I am starving and I'm going to...
The interesting thing in Scotland would say he's a tatty brain. But never mind.
I love that potato brain thing. There's a couple coaches I would call that too in the region that we're in, but I won't call names right now. But, you know, listen, it's been a lot of fun, guys. Join us. As James said, we have daily shows. And, you know, wherever you all are, and now that you all are subscribed, you could join in. We also have extvmedia.com, where we have a wonderful partnership with SofaScore, where we get a lot of insights, data. And I had my most recent post, which is, you know, me discussing Argentina's chances, but we'll have others as well. And, you know,
James... I want to ask SofaScore. How was it not a penalty?
SofaScore. By the way, Gaston from SofaScore, who made the deal with us, you know, he's going to come on. We're going to do an episode. He happens to be Argentinian as well, which is great. So we'll have some match previews with him as well. So having him, you know, give us some SofaScore insight from the guys from SofaScore We could even ask about the penalty as well. It'll be very exciting. We'll be doing that very soon.
Maybe
So
we
look
can
out
get
for
a
that.
referee as well one of the days in the show. Maybe,
yeah.
if there's a referee on the Avenue tomorrow, come and tell us, because I mean, I want to know how you all think. You know, would you have given it a penalty? Would you have not? You know, it'd be interesting.
Correct. And we'll probably have the man on the street interviews where we talk to people, and people are very passionate during the World Cup. We also have some fun videos coming up.
And we can also pick the best dress World Cup person. Now, I've got my kilt on, I could be winning
Oh,
it, but there
man.
must be some others out there.
I look like a plain Jane today, man. All I have on is a white t-shirt. Usually I have my flamboyant gear, but I went for the safe one. I was actually going to put the jersey on just for consistency, and I wore the same pants, James.
Maybe that's why we lost, you know.
I
You were
didn't
supposed to
wear
have
the
the
jersey.
kilt on and you didn't have the jersey on.
I messed it up. Oh my goodness. In Trinidad and Tobago,
Wow.
they would say we'd have to take a bush bath. You know, I'd have to go and wash off all the negativity. But this,
Or maybe it was the Haitians had the voodoo doll out
Yeah.
from the last game, you know.
that's why my knee's hurting. Guys, I'm not playing. You don't do it with me. Do it with the other guys. But we've had a lot, folks. These live streams are a lot of fun. You know, what should I say? It takes the level up from the traditional commentary that we used to have, and we can engage. So, like I said, folks, there's so much to do. There's so much content. And of course, before we go, the song that you heard at the beginning of this video and you'll hear at the end, it's a little snippet. I will start putting the Spotify links as well. It's from a Trinidad and Tobago artist, two artists. It's from Nigel Rojas and Syndicate. Earlier in the game, forgive me, I forgot the name. And I thought it was amazing when I heard it. He sent it to me. He's one of our more popular artists in this region, and, you know, show him some love. And, you know, I think I will get the Spotify link and put it in the description moving forward. So much content. Join in, and we'll be doing many more of these. Plus, of course, when we get to the knockout stages. And I'm trying to get on Netflix to play the FIFA game, and I can't. I'm trying the VPNs. It's not working. So I know I promised I was going to do that. So we have a lot of content. James and I are going to wrap up. I'm probably going to get some beef and potatoes, thanks to somebody here.
Beef
in
and
the chat.
tatties.
Beef and tatties. Is that? I'm going to try to adopt it.
I think we should go watch the Brazil game next day.
Yes, you know, and I don't know, maybe somebody will mention food, you guys. But it's been amazing. Nigel Pierre, Beefy Bake, my gosh. Everybody else, it's been an absolute pleasure. And like I said, folks, before you leave, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, because we want to get to that 10,000 mark, and we'll be celebrating. And we'll probably bring some people in the studio as well. Maybe bring a ref as well. And, you know, we'll be very excited to see how Scotland take on Brazil in that upcoming game. So, James, any last thoughts before we wrap up?
No, as I say, enjoyable as always. I loved it. You know, I love being here, and I hope we can go obviously one stage further, because Scotland never make it out the group, but we will see what happens. Is Viva la Beef. That's absolutely brilliant.
My gosh.
We could end it on that.
Viva la Beef. That's the perfect ending, folks. So, folks, it's been an absolute pleasure. Everybody else, we hope to see you guys back here. And, you know, Beefy and everybody else, Viva la Beef. And see you
Send us
next.
some beef before you go, and we're gone.
Oh, my God. I need some beef right now. So, we'll see you guys for the next time. And we are out.